Welcome back to the Make Money Making Videos podcast. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Make Money Making Videos podcast. This is episode number 6, and I'm on with my man, Anthony Allen. What's going on, Anthony? Tell the people a little bit about yourself, my man.
I'm good, Jack, man. How you doing yourself? You all right?
Yeah, I'm great, bro. I'm great. What's called? Introduce yourself to the people for anybody who is unaware of you.
Okay, my name's Anthony Allen. I have a YouTube channel, but I'm also a freelance video editor on Upwork, thanks to Jack. And my YouTube channel is Anthony Allen Edits, and you can find me on Upwork doing video edits for companies and people alike.
Hell yeah. I absolutely love it. And we're going to be jumping into a little podcast today. Who knows what we're going to get to? I got a whole bunch of, I got a couple little topics. You got a couple little topics, so we're just going to jump on in. Now, I want to know a little bit about you first off the bat.
Okay.
Before we jump into anything, bro. I want to know how long you've been a video creator for.
Okay, I've been a video creator for about 10 years now.
Perfect.
I started before I left my part-time job. So I had a part-time job in Asda. Americans know it as Walmart. And while I was there, I wanted to chase my dreams. I wanted to do what I'd done best at. I wanted to do what I studied in college. And I wanted to pursue video editing or videography. Then I found the Prince's Trust charity. Went through the Prince's Trust charity, completed a business plan. Created a business plan for a videography business and photography business. Managed to get my funding, achieved the enterprise challenge. I won my funding, and then I bought my equipment. I had DSLRs, I had rigs, dollies, so forth. Started to film weddings and other videography jobs within that niche. Once that started to fizzle out, because some of those jobs started to fizzle out due to the season changes and weddings not being all year round. Yeah, definitely. I went and rebranded myself into a company called Supervids, which was solely video editing, which was my favorite part of that process of videography.
Yep.
And then after that, what happened was I was finding clients through social media, mainly Facebook, and then decided, look, I need to find a consistent wage with this. It's definitely what I want to do. I'm pursuing it to the end. And then I found Jack Cole on YouTube and managed to find out about Upwork and managed to make money consistently through Upwork. So that's in a really small nutshell, trying to group everything together. There's things in between, but that is, who Anthony Allen is, what I've done and how I've got to the position that I'm in now.
Wow. It's amazing. So that's over about 10 years, man. And I think it's probably about the span of my career so far as well. And I think the thing that pops out to me is, how long were you a video creator, right? Before you started thinking this was something you were going to make money with and getting into the freelance thing? Because that's two different things right there, right? There's a lot of people who's video creators, right? There's a lot of people who's video creators. There's not that many who've been able to even notice that you can make money from it, let alone turn it into a full-time thing. So how long were you doing it before you kind of started realizing, there's actually opportunity here for potentially a career path, not just like a hobby?
I think. Well, actually, I always thought it was a career path. The reason why is because the first few jobs that I got that I'd done for free were for a world welterweight kickboxing champion and a 4-time kickboxing champion within my local area. So I found the world welterweight kickboxing champion Simon Akufo Tete lived right up the road from where I lived, and he went to the gym where the 4-time world kickboxing champion Cash the Flash Gill trained. And they didn't have any sort of promotion, and they were hosting these massive charity events and kickboxing events and stuff, and they didn't have any media coverage. Meanwhile, I was already remixing footage myself before I even had access to a camera at college or anything like that. I was already learning how to remix footage, and I would create if you remember VCRs.
Yep.
I used to set a reminder on my TeleWest TV to turn on a show or a film that I wanted to record. And basically what I would do is record snippets and create one big linear story.
Yep.
And what I would do with that is then watch that linear story on TV once I've recorded it to a videotape, and then sort of write scripts to it. And that was when it was a hobby, and that's how it transitioned when I found Simon into this is where I think I can make a career with this, because it was, I had a YouTube channel back then when YouTube started on the come up. And the work that I'd done for Simon, I would upload to YouTube and realised, hold on, this is taking off. This is getting Simon ticket sales. This is helping that event.
You're seeing the impact.
Yeah, and I was seeing the impact of what I was doing. So at that point, I think that was when I was like, okay, I've got this dream, I've got this talent, I know what I want to do with it. I've finally got a piece of editing software rather than remixing and doing that pirate stuff.
Of course.
I had a Sony Vegas.
Cool. That's what I started with as well, man.
That's it. Yeah, I started with Sony Vegas. Realized that there was something called Final Cut Pro, but I wasn't on that just yet. Started on Sony Vegas, and at that point, with making the videos for Simon with Sony Vegas, that is when I knew that it was definitely a career move that I wanted to go into, wanted to progress with, wanted to go further, and so forth. So that's when I pursued it. Obviously, I had a part-time job to help fund housing, all that sort of stuff, and
of course.
Stay in my mum's house for as long as I could.
Hey, I'm doing it right now.
It's a way to save money if if you've got your parents to lean back on while you're doing this career to begin with. Definitely a good thing to do, like especially if you're on good terms. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, at that point, I started to use my mum's house as like a hotel. And she didn't like it, and then we had like a slight feud. I had to move out, and then that set me back at like a couple of years before I found Prince's Trust. So always having like a stability at home always definitely 100% helps you when you want to progress further in this career. Like making sure you've got somewhere. If you've got a device, you need to plug that device into somewhere. Like you need the internet access, so you've got the library, but you can't stay at the library all day. So if the job's going to take longer than a certain amount of time, you can't edit in the library, or you can't download and upload what you need constantly in the library. It's something that you can do. It's gonna be very hard, but
it's gonna be a whole bunch of extra hustle. I think this sort of game right here, you have to be so involved in it that you need stability in your life. It's tough. You can't really be living rough and doing this freelance type of thing. I mean, like you could, but it's gonna be tough. You're gonna be putting yourself at a disadvantage.
That's it. Yeah. So you're always gonna make sure you got your stability, man. Like, because you always, if as you said, like if you haven't got your stability, you can't apply yourself to that job properly, so
because your mind's on finding a place to sleep, your mind's on figuring out a whole bunch of other stuff. This thing right here, to really do this, until it starts taking off, and kind of hitting a little bit of a snowball effect, but at first you have to be so proactive to make this shit work right here. Like, that's an understatement. You got to be ridiculously proactive every day to build a consistent clientele with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I learned with like the experience before getting onto Upwork and finding those clients through like the more difficult path, I'd call it, like the social media path, which I find it's harder to get paid through social media.
Yeah, of course it is. It's because the relationship on Upwork, or any freelance site for that matter, is that of someone who's going there knowing that they're going to pay somebody. Like, the whole objective of making an Upwork account for a client is to hire somebody. The whole objective of a Facebook page is just to promote some shit, and if they got you messaging them through Facebook, it's already a less formal relationship that you've got because you're talking over Facebook. You know what I mean? So it's already informal. They're already looking for a deal, and they're not. It's much harder. You're up against more to actually get them to pay you, but you still can. That's the main place where I was getting the majority of my club work, which is kind of the first type of big videography that I was really doing when I was filming live event videography. But awesome, man. We've done a nice little intro, my man, and you actually have seen the past few ones. Like, every now and then I have somebody hits me up and they say, Jack, can we reverse the roles? Can we come on? Can I ask you some questions? And this is music to my ears. This the best thing. I count down the days until somebody pitches me on coming on and asking me questions, because it makes my job easier. I don't even have to write down any questions. I just sit here, we just talk, we have a conversation. I absolutely love it, and that's what we're about to do. So, Anthony, let's jump into it, my man. What do you want to know? Let's kick it off.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a couple of subjects. I've got ranging from video editing jobs, Upwork, videography, and YouTube growth.
I love it.
I think the first subject that we're going to tackle is videography, for those people that are a little bit more proactive and want to get out there and use a camera or DSLRs and so forth. And as I said, like, that was the beginning of my career taking off.
Yeah.
And I think there was a few little things that I've encountered that I think that you might have encountered, but might have a better perspective than I do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to start with the travel. Now, I know you travel light with your camera, your camera equipment and so forth.
Yeah.
But what would be the recommendations for somebody who is traveling maybe on the train or public transport or buses? What would be the recommendation of how to get your equipment around, or what equipment to carry with you? Should you travel light and do freehand like how Jack Cole does, or should you go for a more tripod, dollies and rigs look, especially if you're traveling on a train as well. You've got to lug that all around as well. What's your recommendations for how much equipment you should take with you, especially if you're using public transport for a videography job?
Awesome question. It's all about you. It's all about your preferences. All right. So me, I pride myself on being able to shoot professional videos with amateur equipment. So I love fucking turning up with just my Sony a6300. I'm shooting freehand. You know, I bring a couple other things. You know what I mean? But mainly I'm shooting freehand and I'm loving it. And I love getting home and I love creating something. Something great, knowing that I'm shooting with much. Like I'm coming under equipped usually to a lot of these shoots, but the thing is it really is personal preference, because I can shoot the same quality video with freehand because I've been doing this for so long. I've been through so much trial and error. I can shoot the same quality video that I assume somebody who's turning up with a gimbal and everything like that, who's a little bit further behind me, could shoot. So it's a hard thing to recommend. What I would suggest to people is just go for the necessities, right? So I only go for the necessities. I think about the shoe. I think, what am I definitely going to use, right? And I only bring what I'm definitely going to use. If I'm not definitely going to use it, I won't bring it. In the past, there's really been only a few times that I've brought shit that I haven't kind of needed. And it's usually been when I felt I was a little bit out of my depths, right? So if I was a little bit nervous for a shoot or something like that, for example, I hadn't done this type of video before or something like that. Yeah. I just felt that it was a high profile client or something, I might over prepare and bring kind of like more equipment than I need just in case, because I'm thinking, all right, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But for the most cases, I'm going as under-equipped as possible. Not under-equipped, because that implies I don't have what I need. I got everything I need, but I'm being very, very precise with what I'm definitely going to use, and I'm trying to keep it as lightweight as possible. Probably the most heavyweight stuff you're going to see me going around with, like usually I'm able to fit everything in my backpack. It's not the biggest backpack in the world, but I'm usually able to fit everything in there. But for example, these car promo videos I've been shooting these past few days, or these past few weeks, I've been rolling with shitloads of stuff in my backpack. I'm carrying a drone, so that's a whole nother case right there. I'm carrying some tripods and stuff because we need some still shots for the talking scenes in this promo video. And I'm bringing more to something that I haven't done that much. So it's my first car promo video, so I obviously want to make sure I got lots of stuff. So it kind of goes to the what's called wanted to make sure I'm prepared and stuff. But for the majority of shoots, I'm going there with only the definite things I'm gonna need.
Wicked. Which runs into my next question. And that is basically when as you're carrying, I think you've mentioned the camera that you use at the moment. Yeah. It's a Sony model, isn't it?
Yep, Sony A6300. Yeah, A6300.
That's it. When trends change, occasionally you might need to upgrade your equipment, especially when in terms of your camera equipment. Once upon a time, 720 was the highest pixels that you could have for your camera. When would you recommend that somebody updates their camera model?
Once you've outgrown it. As soon as you feel, all these questions, you see, the equipment area of video production is so specific to each person, man. It's so specific, I think. And I think you upgrade when you just feel ready. For example, I only bought this right here is my first camera that I've ever had. I bought it 2 years ago or something like that.
Mad.
But before that, I'd been shooting videos for years, and I was shooting it on other people's cameras. I would get people involved. If I wanted to shoot something, I would go to my friend, and I would say, all right, you got a camera, come get involved in this shoot. Come shoot this with me, and, I'll borrow your camera, and I'll get you involved in this thing that I'm doing right here. And, that's kind of how I started shooting nightclubs, is I really, I was kind of zoning out of my party life. And, I still wanted to, I wanted to be productive, but I was getting bored sometimes. I still wanted to go out sometimes. So I decided I was going to start filming nightclubs. And I didn't even have a camera at this point. I was probably 18 years old or 18 or 17 years old or something like that. And I didn't even have a camera at this point, right? So I literally just grabbed my friends. I said, come with me. And, I just brought my friend to the club. I would get the booking and everything like that. I'd set everything up, and I'd just bring my friend who had a camera and, give him some of the money, and we would shoot the thing together because I didn't even have a camera. You know what I mean? So I think it's your time, right? I only got this camera 2 years ago or something like that. So I feel like whenever you feel ready, for me, I'm feeling nearly ready to upgrade. So this year I'm probably going to upgrade, and the one I'm going to go to is, now I'm comfortable with Sony. I don't want to move on to other things, so I'm going to stay with Sony, and I'm going to get the Sony A7S Mark III or Mark II, I think. So that's a nice upgrade to this.
That's a good camera.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I think I would advise everybody to get the most out of a budget camera. I swear to you, get the most out of it, and get amazing with it. Get to the point where you can shoot a phenomenal video with with amateur equipment. I promise you. That's the point that I am right now. I could shoot an amazing video, a really quality project with amateur equipment. It's pretty amateur equipment. So later this year, when I upgrade to professional, quote unquote professional equipment, because there's no quote unquote professional, it's just whatever you do with it.
There you go.
Exactly, but when
it's
I do
how
upgrade,
you use the tool, not the it's how you use the tool, not what tool you've got, really, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's the biggest tell of someone who doesn't really know what they're doing is if they're putting too much emphasis on the equipment. I know people who spend thousands on the equipment. You know what I mean? Thousands, but they don't know how to use it. They got the best equipment,
and they still can't make quality work like how you make quality work. I feel the same way. There's people that have spent like a silly amount of money on all different types of equipment, and they don't know how to use it, or they can't use it to the effectiveness that I would use it. If I get my hands on that equipment,
beast.
That's what I'm saying. I'm making a Hollywood production.
But it's because we've gone through this fat track record of learning how to make professional looking stuff on amateur equipment. And that's my biggest advice to anybody starting videography. Don't go for the craziest shit. Get a camera you can throw around, you can beat up, you can have fun with, and just fucking learn this shit, man, literally. And then once you feel like you're being limited, because at this point, I know I can make amazing stuff, but I'm now limited. I could do far better stuff if I had a better camera. It's now super obvious to me. I've gotten the most out of this camera right here. I'm doing the most with it. I'm genuinely doing the most with it. So I know when I'm now upgrading, probably over the next 6 months, I'm going to upgrade. So I still got a little bit more use out of it, but I'm going to upgrade in about 6 months. And, the quality is going to take a massive increase with not that much massive, increase in my personal skill level. Just the fact that I've gotten better equipment and my skill level is that beyond this camera right here.
That's it. It's about the talent.
Yeah.
Next one runs into, next question I've got is about lighting within a scene. Now, we've both had the same problem. I think you had it with a nightclub. And occasionally, lighting can be unpredictable within a scene. For example, if you've got fluorescent lighting, as you know, the frame rate of a camera might not catch the light properly. Yeah, and you get a flicker within each shot, which can completely ruin a project. So, from one professional to another, what's the best process in order to prepare for those sort of factors before you get to the scene in order to film or whatever videography job you're going to film? How would you prepare for light changes? Like for today, for example, before we've gotten to the podcast, I've completely changed this table. This is the same room where I'll do most of my YouTube videos. I've completely just changed the setup to put me in the right position so that you can see me on camera. Because if I was in my normal position, I'd make sure that I'm filming around about 11 o'clock so that the light and the sun is at the highest peak because I'm using natural light. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, so you can't do that when you've got a job that you haven't been to yet. You can't, you can't go. I suppose you could go there, but what would be the process you would tell somebody to do in order to prepare for a job? Maybe that's too far for them to travel to beforehand. In terms of light changes within the scene or wherever you're filming.
Yeah, preparing beforehand is such a tough thing. I'm always aware of this. And on a club I shot on New Year's Eve, I had a couple of these problems where obviously every light's so different. So there's one room where I was just getting the most flicker in the world. Another room looks completely perfect because they're just using different type of LEDs. And in terms of planning before, all you can do beforehand in terms of pre-preparation for something like this is just be ready for the fact that the lighting is going to be changing. And you just need to be constantly looking at the footage. You know what I mean? If you're playing back the footage, you can a lot of the time catch it. And also, I've been in enough situations with different lights that I can actually start to tell what types of lights might give me a problem. For example,
Yes.
signs are almost always giving you a problem. Like
Yes.
so many of them, you might have a Heineken sign, or even the sign of the club. I shot Prism nightclub on New Year's Eve. The Prism sign was flickering. Hallway lights, like those little ones at the bottom to kind of the light up the wall a tiny bit, just so it shows the pathway. That shit's flickering. You just, like, over experience, you kind of pick this shit up. But if you haven't had enough experience to kind of tell which ones are gonna potentially be giving you a problem, I'd just be religious about looking through that footage. But also, there are little techniques to get around it. If like there's a program I haven't messed with called, like, maybe Mocha or Maca or something like that. I won't talk too much about that because I actually I haven't used it, so I'm not too sure. But I remember someone telling me you could potentially fix it with that. But you could also kind of fix that sort of glitch by duplicating the layer and putting it over to the right by one frame. And you could kind of fix it. Like, it doesn't look perfect, but it does okay. Like, it actually does okay. So if, like, you totally screw up and you're like, this is the shot, and you need that shot, and you didn't realize that the lighting fucked it up, you can fix it by duplicating the layer and switching the frame over, and you can kind of erase it. But it does look a little bit messy, but if the shot's on there pretty quick, you can get away with it. So I think number one tip before going in will be to just review the equipment. Expect that things could be going wrong. If you see some lighting that you're unsure about, it's better to be safe than sorry. Take a look at the footage. Make sure you're not getting any flickers on there. And sometimes you can't even see the flicker on the footage. That's what sucks. Like, I've had clips where you can't see the flicker on the footage. And it's like, God damn it. Well, I did everything I could have done at that point to try and, fix this situation.
I had that problem with basically the way that the optimized media was showcasing it within Final Cut. Basically, it showed me like a lower level, a low quality shot. I'd do an edit, and then it would come out looking completely different to what I've just seen on screen. And that was just solely because I didn't know about what optimized and proxy media was, and it was just showing me like completely different quality while I was editing, so that I could render my clips a lot quicker.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's one thing Final Cut does. I've gone through natural light. I've got checking the scene. We've covered that. I would say the best question that I have about videography jobs before we get into any other subjects like Upwork and YouTube and so forth is, how do you, the job that you just had, that's a classic example. How do you go about negotiating the price for the job?
The price is tough. So the price always changes, right? My prices are the most inconsistent thing in the world. I really just see, like, I weigh it up, all right? So so the car job, right? For that one, I just got hired for 2 projects. I've done 2 projects over the past 2 weeks for £300 per project. That's a nice paycheck to me. Like, usually my fee's about 200, 250, so 300, it's already a little bit more. And the reason it was already a little bit more is because I just felt the client out. Like, I feel the client out a little bit. So for that one, I went to their dealership to have a meeting, right? So at the meeting, I've had the meeting and everything like that, and I just kind of sensed that they could afford 300. So I said, you know what, they could afford 300 here. So I said, all right, boom. So 300 for the 1-minute promo video. And, they said yes right away and everything like that. And I think I said 300 plus travel. Obviously they're a car place. So they said, we're not going to pay your travel. We'll just come and pick you up in the cars.
Okay. Wicked.
They just come and pick me up, drive me out to the dealership, shoot the whole thing. So they kind of take care of my travel that way. They drop me back and everything. But the way I figure it out is I judge it off of what I think this client can afford. Because, like, you don't want to leave money on the table. You also don't want to take advantage. So I never like to take advantage. I always like to get this sweet spot where they're super happy and I'm super happy. Yeah. For example, you know what I mean? For this car people, they are extremely happy with 300. Like, I could tell they were really happy with it. And to be honest, I probably could have charged them a whole consultant fee by the amount of value I provided to them about building their online brand. You know what I mean? So I know I'm providing more value than I'm taking. Yeah. So I feel very comfortable in that situation. And that's always the situation I try to put up is, am I providing more value than I'm taking? Are we both happy in this situation? Are they happy about the price? And am I thinking I'm getting a deal and they're thinking they're getting a good deal? You know what I mean? That's always it. I don't want to be taking too much. Like, you're not going to get repeat. I'd rather lose some money each project, but get, 10 projects together or something where we might have only worked on 2 for a higher price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that plays a role in taking my price down a bit. If I think there's going to be more work, for example, these guys, even the car people, I probably would have, like, I could tell they got a little bit of money, so I probably would have charged them even more if they only wanted one video, but they were saying they wanted weekly projects. So I said, all right, cool, let me do like a nice price that'll be agreeable, and then I can get consistent work, because consistent work, even at a lower price, is more valuable to me than a one project, because I don't like wasting my energy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when I build a relationship, it's a good relationship. So it sucks to not make the most out of that. So I love building a relationship and then working together for a long period of time, opposed to building that relationship and it fizzles out after one project, and it's like, all right, well, you know, I still got that relationship. We might work together in the future, but it's not an ideal situation here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, which leads on to another thing. Again, this is for videographers as well. Like, as I said, Jack, I've got like plenty of questions coming your way, bro.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Keep hitting me, bro. Keep hitting me. Don't stop, bro. Until I tap out, I want a WWE tap out of this shit. Say, please, I can't take it no more.
Code angle, you take it up. The next question on videography is something that not everybody thinks about. It's sort of like, because I'm thinking about getting back into videography myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you know, I've got that complete, consistent, flat line for Upwork. As soon as I've got to that point with Upwork where I'm like, okay, I've got more than enough clients to you know, survive me for the whole next 2 years or year.
Yeah, it's definite. Yeah. You get to that point where you feel comfortable and you know it's definite here.
Yeah. So the next question is, what niches what niches do you recommend for videographers? And not only that, what type of niches have you done yourself? Because obviously when I was doing videography work, I literally pigeonholed myself to weddings.
Yep.
You know, I didn't do promo videos or anything like that. So which niches would you recommend, or which niches have you worked on yourself in terms of videography and getting videography jobs and things like that? Because you know, it's not something that everybody thinks about. Everyone just thinks, yeah, I'm going to be a wedding videographer, and you know. That's
and you get bored, dude. You get bored. Like, that's the thing. I was like a live event videographer almost solely for like ages, for like not a full year, but I'll tell you. Okay, let me explore this one. Right, this is an interesting one. So, live event videography in venues and nightclubs all across the UK. I've filmed about 50 different nightclubs and venues all across the UK, from London to Bristol to to Warwick, or I don't even know where all these places are that I've been to, bro. I get the train there, I get the train back, I got no clue. I've been everywhere, though. I've been absolutely everywhere, bro. 50 different nightclubs and venues. On top of that, I've done promotional videos for a lot of different businesses. I've done foodie kind of recipe style videos for some people up in Bristol. I've just done the car stuff, which I've been doing recently. I've done extensive music videos and freestyles and stuff for rappers, which that is definitely, you know, I'll get to that in a second. That's not the best niche you could get into in the world. I'm trying to think. So, product videos is definitely a very sought after thing. Yeah. You know, I think the easiest to get would be a product video or a business promo video. Okay. It's semi-tough to get your first one, but once you got it, there's almost infinite work to do, because every business wants promotion. You just need to find the right businesses, I think. And product videos is a simple one. So you can get remote work as a videographer. I've been sent all sorts of stuff. Like, I've been sent travel wallets to like keep your passports in and shit to make product videos for them, and they just send me the product, and then I make a video, you know, demonstrating their product and everything.
Demonstration.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that down here in the down here in the office. I don't even have to go meet the client or anything. So there's actually good remote work that you can get for videography with product videos and stuff. People have sent me like charging banks. I'm just literally looking at my shelf over there and trying to see.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because you've got another YouTube channel around this subject as well, haven't you? You've got Out of the Box.
Yeah, precisely. But you know, there's a lot. So I think the easiest one to get, I guess none of them are easy, bro. It's because you do have to have talent. Like, you do have to have some skill, and you have to have talent. And I think the easiest, in my opinion, well, first off, the one that I got the most work of was definitely the live events. But I think the easiest in theory to pitch people that makes the most sense is doing business videos. Is doing videos for a business where you're demonstrating something that they do or a service that they provide. Because then, you know, in this day and age, if you're not pushing content daily through through social media, your brand is secondary to a brand that is pushing daily content through social media. So people are catching on to that now. Like, it's funny to say it because it's been a reality for years now.
It's a reality check for some as well. Like, it's a reality check for some.
Oh, it really is, man. And it sucks because it's a different brain building like a brick and mortar business, and then they're realizing it's not just about getting a good business in a good location and shit. It's about promoting yourself through the internet now.
That's
it's the whole other element that came in and mixed things up.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it, man. I'm seeing it. But for people who don't have any work so far, you're gonna have to do some free work. I shot maybe 5 nightclubs for free before I could even get paid. I shot shitloads of videos for free. I shot a fuckload of bars videos and music videos for free. But I think the simplest one to do after you've done some stuff for free to get some sample work is event recaps and business promo videos. They almost go into the same thing. Because a live event recap, there's so many live events going on, and you could literally go to Facebook and just type in events near me and find a list of Facebook pages.
Oh yeah, you've got thousands in that subject,
shitloads.
Pubs, clubs,
all of them,
and all different types.
You just gotta send them messages, man. All you gotta do is send them messages, and you will get people, man. Literally, I'm trying to think. I shot nightclubs for £30. For £30 back in the day. I shot them for free, a bunch of them, and then when I just started, I didn't really have much of a show reel or portfolio that was really that quality, so I was shooting them for minimum money. I was shooting them for £30, £50, £40, all sorts of small stuff. So it's a hustle in the first place, man. Literally,
that's it, man. That's dope.
It's a hustle in the first place to get it cooking.
That's dope. Now I love that. I love that as well. I love the fact that like you've had like your ground foundation where you've like charged like so little just to get that foot in the door, get it done. You know what I mean? Build that portfolio up from scratch, man. That's a real grind, and I like that.
You have to, bro. I don't know what people are expecting nowadays. That's the thing, man. Like, this shit right here, this is a great gig right here. If you enjoy making videos, this is a great gig. Like, when you break it down to its simplest form, you're asking to be paid to go film a nightclub. You know what I mean? You're paid to go to the nightclub. You know, like,
you're having fun while you're there anyway.
It's exactly, bro. It's a fun environment. You know what I mean? There's lots going on. It's a great environment. So it's like, this shit right here, I'll happily do that for free the first 5 or fucking the first 10 even, man. Literally, I used to bring my friends with me, whatever the case may be. It's still a fun thing. Like, I bring my friend with me to shoot a vlog for me or whatever the case may be. And, it's a fun experience. That's the thing I want to emphasize, man, is I'm having fun with this shit, so it seems effortless to me. Like in the same breath when I can say I worked super hard for this shit and I made it happen, I can say it's effortless to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird with nightclub promoters as well, because they're actually really generous, and the reason why I know that is because, not even related to any video editing, this is what I realised about nightclub promoters. I went to collect, you know when you got buy and sell on Facebook, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I went to a place to collect wardrobe. It turned out to be Prism's video promoter.
Cool.
Event promoter, sorry.
Yeah.
Went in, and he asked me an extra question. He said, can you take down this wardrobe for me because I've had my tools and my drill and stuff. And then the guy was just like, I'll just give you some G-Star jeans, like, just for helping me out with it. I was
yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, sure. Hey,
got money.
You're not gonna hear me. Not gonna hear me say no.
I wasn't gonna say no. I was like,
I feel you. I feel you, man, as well, right? That's funny as shit. Now, promoters go either way, bro. I'll tell you. You get the nicest promoters in the entire world, man. Literally, that are just like they're so happy, they're so generous, they're so nice. Then you get the stuck-up ones, man. Literally, who just like they think they're the shit. They walk around a little bit flashy, everything like that. You know what I mean? I've seen them all, bro. Literally, because I've shot in the most ghetto little nightclubs in the world, bro. I swear, where you just got
back road,
nasty, some crazy tech, drum and bass. Everybody's on every drug in the world.
Everyone's based out the face, bro. And it's all muddy everywhere. And you just
muddy everywhere, bro. I'm the only sober guy in the whole building, guaranteed. The guy who's checking the tickets on the door, he's on a bean, he's on whatever. Who knows what these guys are on?
That's discipline.
Oh, bro, it's great. Well, to be honest, I'll tell you the truth, bro. Literally, I've been shooting nightclubs since I was 17 years old, and I used to go and take drugs. I used to go and get fucked up there because I was only 17, so I used to go pop a pill or something, and I'd just be there filming the video fucked up. You know what I mean? And you know, that wasn't the most formal. Oh, exactly, bro. Just pointing the camera.
Start dirty whining for no reason, like.
Yeah, bro. All sorts. That's the thing. The relationship between me and the promoter at that point, it was like friends. It was friends of mine who I knew from, you know, whatever, my area, and they were hosting events. So obviously they was just like, all right, come here. We'll sort you out for the night, pay for all your shit and everything, and you just film this video. So that was the relationship that I entered, and those videos look like that relationship. They look like that relationship. They're the most ghetto, crazy videos you've ever seen in your life, bro. I swear. It's hilarious. But, like, I shot in some super small little venues, little ghetto venues like that. But I also shot in, you know, some of the most luxury venues in the whole UK, like Cirque du Soleil, Drama Park Lane, these really luxury nightclubs up near London where, you know, I filmed Future up there. I filmed, you know, I fucking probably filmed like 5 or 6 different venues for this, you know, this really high-profile group of clubs, which was this Cirque du Soleil and Drama Park Lane and stuff. And anybody who's you know, up near London, they know these clubs. They're real big luxury places where they got a lot of people at. So I've seen the whole spectrum, I think, of the UK nightlife videography scene. I've seen the dutty ones all the way to like the classy ones. And the dutty ones have the nice promoters. The classy ones have the asshole promoters. I'm telling you straight right now. The duttier the club, if there was a bar graph or like a graph in terms of the duttier the club to the correlation of like the nicest promoter, it would be the duttier the club, the nicer the promoter. The bar would just go straight up if we were building some sort of graph here.
But that's the thing as well, like, when you're there and you're building these relationships and you're making things work in terms of, you know, the dirty of the club, but you're still making a dope-ass video and all that sort of stuff. Exactly. Do you ever fall into another job while you're there? Because a lot of time, you get approached I've noticed this, right? You get approached while you're filming, and you're not actually sure who you're talking to, and the next thing you know, he's another promoter for another club.
Always.
Or you've got someone, like, for example, I had the last wedding that I did, I think it was like December 2017, I think it was. And that was the last wedding that I'd done. Yeah. But while I was there, I got asked to do another 3 to 4 weddings. It was just solely because of the fact that, you know, I wanted to get out of that niche. That the reason why I turned them down. You know, how often do you find that when you're on the job with videography that you get somebody that approaches you and is like, you know, this is how the job, and then you're having to negotiate there on the spot. I mean, like, there's a lot of skills to like throw in, like, especially when you're in the middle of a job and someone's talking to you in the middle of their job about what they want from their job. You know what I mean? Does that happen? I think
that's the best thing that can happen. I genuinely think it's the best thing that can happen. And every single time I want to follow up with them. So I'm not telling them usually a price or anything like that there because I need to feel them out. That's the thing. But I love getting approached there because it's like, oh, great, this is the perfect thing for you to see me doing. You're seeing me doing what I do. I don't got to convince you about nothing. You're aware that you're here because someone has paid you to be here, and the relationship is already that of, you know, you're a videographer, this is what you do. So when they come up to you, and it happens at almost every single shoot, especially the nightclubs, because you got people, they're a little bit drunk, whatever, so they're even more happy to come up to you, whatever the case may be, and talk to you, you know what I mean? And I think it's the best place for it to happen because they see that you're doing what you're saying you're doing. You're not just messaging them on the internet like, yo, hey, how's it going? I'm Jack, I'm a videographer. They see Jack, the videographer, here in the venue right here. And I think it happens to me all the time. And that's why business cards. I'd don't know how many clubs. I'd shot at least 10 clubs, I think, before I finally got business cards. And I woke up one day and I said, I need to fucking get some business cards. People keep asking me what the fuck I'm doing here.
It's a crazy story as well.
I'm telling them to get out their phone, all sort of silly stuff like that. You know what I mean? Type me in. No, they're not typing me in. You know what I mean? So I think get business cards. Yeah. Every shoot you go to, always have business cards. I got business cards on me all the time. You know what I mean? Get business cards, keep them in your wallet. Simple. Business cards are cheap nowadays. They really are. 15, 20 pound. You can get 250 business cards for like 25 pounds, something like that. And you'll have 250 for a minute. You know what I mean? Unless you're shooting gigs every single day, you'll have 250 business cards for a minute. So you've done yourself a good supply right there. I think it happens all the time. People always come up to you, bro. It's because they're interested. Like, people are interested a lot of the time, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's great. I always give them a business card. I always tell them to hit me up. And I've definitely gotten work because of people, finding me through doing stuff, or, seeing me, there, or seeing my work by them sharing it on Facebook and everything. And then reaching out to me, as a result of the original project that I did.
I mean, people really respond as well, like, especially when you say that you've got a YouTube channel along with the service that you're delivering. Like, especially with places like Upwork. As soon as I say, I've started a YouTube channel, at the moment I've got 700 subscribers. So obviously the niche that you're wanting your content to be posted on is obviously advertising online. So you can see the actual direct result of pieces of work that I've done. Like, you know what I mean? So like how you're saying where you're on the job and people can see what you're doing and they can see the result of what's happening from what you're doing. Like, I feel the same happens online, especially with like places like Upwork and things like that.
100%. And this actually, I got to interject and I got to ask you, this is probably the thing I want to know the most. All right.
Okay.
How much more work? How much? So you started without the video intro, right? You started without it. How much more work did you get once you switched from just a normal kind of like proposal email, a proposal message with maybe a show reel link to a portfolio or whatever? How much more work did you start getting once you switched to the video intro?
All the work that I've done within the past, I don't know. Let me try and find out. I done my video intro roughly about 3 to 4 months ago. Not even that long actually. Hold up. Let me. I said about like 2 to 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Every piece of work that I've had has been a result of that video intro that I posted 3 to 4 months ago. 2 to 3 months ago, sorry. But what I've done as well is I haven't just pigeonholed that video intro to Upwork. I've used it on Twitter. I've used it on Facebook. I've used it on social media. So what I do is I unlist the video, and then I would share the unlisted video on social media as well. And as a result, like every piece of work that I've got, which is a lot.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong. I've taken a lot of the smaller jobs a lot of the time, and the reason why I've done that is because of something that Roberto Blake said. And Roberto Blake said that once you start a new platform, it's like you're beginning again. It's like you're starting that platform. It's like you're starting your career all over again. So I sort of, once I'm on Facebook, for example, I've got a Facebook page. I make sure that I've shared my video intro with somebody that's asking about my services there. Word gets around, I'll do the same on Twitter and I'll do the same on Upwork. But literally, it's been like tenfold the amount of work that I've got. Because when I was first on Upwork, I was posting. Don't get me wrong, people were responding. I was having like a few like messages here and there, and I had like
much harder to convert.
So much harder, yeah.
It's not even comparable. That would literally be. That's the biggest possible tip that I could give to any freelancer right now, no matter what you do. It's easier for us because it comes natural for the type of characters that you and me are. We are, we're naturally these outgoing characters, so it's a perfect fit for us. So if you're a type of character like us, do it fucking instantly. Do it 25 minutes ago before I even talked about it. But even if you're not, nobody's seeing this except for you. Even if you're not confident in front of the camera, this is the 100% 10 times guaranteed multiplier is as soon as I made the video intro, I guaranteed get work. Like if I send 30 proposals, I guaranteed have at least one
I'm not even sending 30 now. Like since
you don't even need to. Intro. You don't even need to. That's the thing. You don't even need to.
It's like by the time you've done 10, you've got something.
You've got something. It's crazy.
It's like that's one thing as well that completely changed the game for me. Not only when you mentioned Upwork and what Upwork wasn't teaching me about that, it's the video intro that completely changed the game for me. As soon as I've actually updated my video intro as well.
Same, dude. I've done it about 5 times. I would advise people to do it. I started my first video intro a year ago. I'm now probably on version 5, and I'm probably gonna update it again in the next few months. It's so crucial. It is the most impactful thing. I send it to everybody. I don't even send it to just normal Upwork clients. Like this car dude who came and bought this fucking the way I got that car client, right? The one that I've been shooting these past few weeks is because they popped up on me and bought a Facebook Marketplace item from me, and I just got his email and sent him that video intro, and that was what got me that job right there. So I sent it to everybody. It's like it's literally like as good as you sitting down in front of them and pitching them.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean? But it's like the perfect version of you doing it. It's not as though you're going to mess it up or anything like that. It's like it's a pre-recorded perfect pitch every time. And I'm a little bit cheeky with it. At the end, I'm even like, I bet you got nobody else who's been this personal with you. You know what I mean? So that's the game over right there. If they've liked it.
I literally, before we got onto this call, right?
Yeah.
I literally just finished filming my new video intro, right?
Uh-huh.
And in the video intro, I didn't hold back. I was literally like, I am one of the best person for the job that I've just applied for.
It's so good. I
was literally like, if you give me the work, right, and that work comes through to me, you will get at the highest quality.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter even if I need to go through a template or a preset. Or come off Final Cut Pro X, because I've got, that groundwork that I've put in, like you said earlier on when you said about using different equipment, and you said that it's not the equipment, it's the person behind the equipment.
100%.
Because I'm that way with video editing, as well as my videography. It doesn't matter what the job is. Like, you can literally turn around to me and say, okay, I need a motion graphic promo ad for an application.
Yeah, your mind instantly starts working out, right? All right,
there you
so
go.
I gotta go here, I gotta go here, I gotta go here.
There you go. And I already know, especially with the software that I'm constantly training and updating myself on and committing myself to, I already know how I could do it with that software, or how I can attempt to do it with that software. And then if the job gets a little bit more complicated, maybe I could go a bit further and export it and put it in something else. I mean, because people like to get pigeonholed on one software.
They do. I mix and match, bro. I jump into everything. Like for a period, I had some clients which I was editing in Premiere because I knew it was easier there. I have clients that I'll still use Sony Vegas because I know it's actually easier to edit their type of video in Sony Vegas.
That's it.
I mix and match with After Effects all the time. I use After Effects to complement Premiere pretty nicely with some motion graphics and stuff. Bro, it's being versatile. Even I jump on Photoshop. I do some stuff with Photoshop to mix in there as well.
Even GIMP.
Like,
I've been using free GIMP.
GIMP's the same thing. GIMP, Photoshop, same exact thing. And anybody who doesn't got Photoshop, get GIMP. Same exact thing, pretty much. Literally, all you need is something where you can do photo editing or graphics. It's usually text or something like that you need to build with some nice drop shadows or something like the text options in Premiere or After Effects. Sometimes for certain titles aren't nice enough for me, so I need to go make like a nice ass graphic in Premiere, then put it into them and animate it or whatever the case may be. Being versatile, man. Just like when you're a technical kind of guy a little bit and you've like you've been using computers for a while, this video production shit and this design shit is so simple because your mind worked for it. So it's like I could do this shit in my sleep almost. Like my mind just works for it.
Yeah, even with editing equipment, I think people like pigeonhole themselves with the type of desktop they're using. Like I once watched a Grammy show. I think it was the Grammys or it was an award show. And there was a talented guy there that was using his mobile phone to create a whole live song. And he was plugged it into a speaker, and he was playing the piano, then he was doing the drums, and he was layering it up, and then he was literally using his iPhone like for the whole production.
The whole thing.
So even if somebody's just got an iPhone and you need to do color grading, there'll be an application somewhere or something that you could use in order to do that. And that's where we come in sometimes, and we jump on YouTube and we're showing people these sort of things. Like we're showing you, hey, look, okay, you haven't got the money to pay for Sony Vegas, or you haven't got the money to pay for Premiere Pro. Here's another option as well. Like if you're not using that, here's you've made your free video editing videos where you're showing them free platforms and stuff like that as well. That is so helpful to people that are on the ground level just getting into the game.
Exactly.
Because as I said earlier on in the podcast, I said, I started remixing footage on a VCR.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane, right?
It's like the craziest thing. It's like the VCR was going to get thrown out because it was old.
I
realised I could record with it. Started messing around with the back. I took the wires out and went into the Telewest because it was Telewest. It wasn't even Sky back then. And cable and messed around with the cables. Realised that I could private record it. It's crazy stuff just to get something done. A task that I wanted to get done. It's how I learned how to edit and chop things together. And at that point, it was just... I was pressing a button to automatically record and at the same time setting the TV to automatically turn. And next thing I'm recording WrestleMania somehow.
You're just blending everything together.
That's it, blending everything together into a linear story. And it was down to the bare minimum of equipment to get that done. So now, once I've started to elevate and grow that talent, it became like something completely different. But I wouldn't be
game changer.
That's it. I wouldn't be at this stage without that.
People people are in my DMs now, right? So I would describe where I'm at right now on YouTube as micro blowing up. I'm getting shitloads of people reaching out to me every day, but like, it's not as though I'm a massive YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
But I got loads of people reaching out to me and shit. And there's a lot of people, bro, who they're crippling themselves. They're saying, I can't start, please, I need the right equipment. I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, and I don't have that. And it's a big topic for these people. And it's the thing I'm most passionate about, is telling them, start with your phone.
Yep.
Start with your phone. You have a phone. You're texting me. You're DMing me right now. The phone is
You're
more
using
powerful.
the equipment, dude, that you could be using to get started.
I was like 12 years old or 11 years old. 12 years old when I first moved to this country.
Yeah.
I was using, my mom takes some pictures. She had some picture camera.
Yeah.
I would make video. That camera, it was a, few 100-pound camera that my mom was taking pictures with. I would use it to take videos with it. I'd make stupid little homemade videos with me and my brother with the, BB guns, pretending to shoot, and I'd edit on like noises, like the gun noises and shit. That camera, which I was making those videos with, wasn't even half the quality that the iPhone is now. If I was 12 today with the iPhone we got right now, I would be killing it, and I would be doing it all on the iPhone, because it's even better quality than the simple shit that I was making shit back then. I was literally filming on a camera, and this iPhone is better quality than that camera. So I'm telling people, if you start with a phone
Everyone's
today,
got one as well.
Everyone's got one. And no, that's the thing that makes people feel weird about it. They think they're just doing some Instagram selfie video or something. But no, this that we have in our pocket that we take for granted is more powerful than the cameras that I started filming with, that I learnt how to begin editing with, right? So you're at a bigger advantage than I was back then. Definitely at a bigger advantage
100%.
than you were with the VCR.
VCR.
And people are saying... People are crippling themselves by saying, I can't start, I need the best equipment. And the reality is I want to shove it down these people's throats.
Yep.
There's people out there who can do better things with a phone than they can if they bought the next level A7S II or the GH5, or they bought a top of the range, like, nice camera, a nice DSLR, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
And if these people bought that, they couldn't do what someone could do with the phone. So it's not about the equipment at all. And it bugs me almost, to be honest, man, because people don't realize, I think the biggest tell that people don't really know about what they talk about is when they're putting too much emphasis on the equipment.
Yeah. I mean, like, sometimes, like, I tend to think, with the companies that sometimes pay us for their video editing jobs, sometimes you'll find that they can actually do the job that they're asking you for. It might just be time management. I mean, that's something that sometimes people forget. It's sometimes time management. Time management is a huge factor for companies that just haven't got the time to do our type of work. So if as an individual, a freelancer, if you've got the time to educate yourself on how to just create one type of video, you'll be able to find the work on Upwork, especially if you already started. There's YouTubers, that are getting started that are now looking for freelancers like us to edit their videos, because they just don't have the time to edit every single video that they have. You're very talented in that fact. Like, you make daily videos and you're editing these videos on top of filming them. There's other YouTubers that can't do that, that could need video freelancers like us.
That's one of the most common video types that I suggest to people. And that you've just said right there, as in pinpointing a type of video and just teaching yourself how to make one type of video, that's how I tell people to start. I say, if you're starting and you don't know that much video editing, there's so many jobs. I tell them, sign up to Upwork. Go to Upwork, sign up, scroll through there and see the job that's posted the most. And in this case, it's probably some YouTube-related stuff. And then just literally build a sample around that, and then target that type of work, and then just do that type of stuff. Like, when I first started doing this, the easiest work for me to get was the YouTube work. Is because I'd say something like, hey, I'm a video editor, but I've also got a YouTube channel with 70,000 subscribers or whatever I had, right? So that was like an instant eye-opener for a YouTuber, is like, oh, that's another established YouTuber who wants to edit my stuff. So
there you go.
It's like the only stuff I started with, is I just found something. I was like, all right, YouTube video editing. There's YouTubers out there, they want to edit, they got multiple channels even, and I started editing for a whole bunch of different YouTubers. I did all sorts. I did editing for them, I did voiceovers. Someone even hired me to be an on-screen personality of their channel.
I've started doing that as well. Like my most consistent client at the moment on Upwork is a channel called howexpert.com. They've got a website, as well, HowExpert, and basically I make top 10 videos on ClickBank affiliate products, or a subject that we both agree on. you know, to help elevate his channel and website. And it's his most viewed videos on his channel. You know, so that's the reason why he's decided to stick with me and you know, and constantly give me work in terms of YouTube video editing. Like, you know, like that sort of subject is like blowing up on Upwork. Like, you can constantly find like YouTubers that need you to edit their videos on Upwork.
It's probably one of the easiest jobs to find on there. That or social media editing. The most common stuff that I've seen really is YouTube editing, or people who want micro content. So those 1 minute chop ups for Instagram, 1 minute chop ups for Twitter, 1 minute chop ups for all these sort of different places. And you know, like people like Gary Vee in the space, because they're talking about this stuff so much, and they got the ear of so many people in this community, and they're pushing so much, you know, stuff about how you need micro content. It's translating into loads of people flooding the internet, trying to hire creators to make this micro content for themselves. Shitloads of people. That's
another job. Yeah, that's another job that I've been able to get as well quite often. Micro content for Instagram. It seems to be Instagram more than everywhere else.
It's always Instagram. Yeah. Instagram's the number one thing, bro. Like at the beginning of this year, I had a nice consistent client who was paying me up front for 10 videos. So I was charging him $20 per 1 minute 1 minute video, and he, you know, so it would be $200 for you know, all of them up front, but I was giving him a little 20% discount because he was paying for 10 up front. So he was giving me like $160 for 10 little micro videos, and he was, you know, he's booking them all the time. He was booking like at least 10 a week, and it's just nice, consistent videos. You make a little 1 minute video like that in about an hour or something like that. After you've done it a couple times, is not the hardest thing in the world. You know, that's the thing I love about this shit so much. Like, do you stop and think to yourself sometimes when you've done some easy work, Anthony, and you're thinking, someone actually has to work a shitload of time to make this same money? And I feel so grateful, because I'm like, holy fuck, like people work for £8 an hour.
Oh man, like you know what it is? I think, well, I don't think, I know. Right? I always watch, the reason why I always watch Americans is because I feel like American economy is ahead of us.
It is.
So I always
it's
feel
massive
like
market.
Yeah, definitely. I always think like their market, something happens, a transition happens over there before it comes over here, right? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure in the way that America is transitioning online, a lot of our workforce is also transitioning online now. Like it's starting to get to that point where if you get there early and establish yourself early, you will have a floodload of work coming your way, especially in the next couple of years, the next 5 to 10 years. Gary Vee's actually said this as well. He's actually said a lot of that work that is transitioning online away from the industry, which is like manpower, from manpower, is happening online. Even the bank now, when you go to online banking, there's an online assistance now. You know, like you used to have to literally go into the bank. Like I've started to watch. Yeah, banks have closed down now. Like you go into like shopping centres and all that sort of stuff, and you look for a bank, and then you find that it's actually closed down, and you know, like, you're asking people why is it closed, and it's like, go on your online banking.
You got the bank in your phone. I got the Lloyd's app on my phone. I just open that stuff up. I could send money. I could receive money. I could do all sorts of stuff on there.
That's it.
It's crazy.
And people are getting more comfortable with moving their money online rather than having to draw out their money in person. The only reason I actually draw out money nowadays is either to get my hair cut, or if I'm doing some travel, or if I'm paying my driving instructor, like you said, you're doing your driving lessons as well. Like, if it's the physical service is there, or I don't even use it for when I'm doing my shopping.
There's nothing, bro. Literally, I'll tell you what, bro. I'll tell you what. The fucking the weed dealers in my area have started taking card payments. Bro. I'm telling you, not card, but I do the online banking. I went to pick a gram up off the weed man probably a few weeks ago, bro, or a month or two ago actually, and I just sent him the money on the online banking. I sent him the money on online banking. Opened my Lloyd's app in front of him. I said, my bad, bro. I don't have my cash on me. I said, what's your details? I typed the details into Lloyd's app, and I sent him a tenner right there on the spot. I know, right? It's a crazy world, right? It's getting crazier and crazier out here, man. I swear.
That's mad.
It's hilarious, bro, for real. It's getting so funny. And I mean, it's
give me the details, man.
Yeah, no, for real. Yo, come on now. Get the Lloyd's app open real quick for me, bro. All right, what's those details? All right, come on. What's your little sort code real quick? But seriously, bro, I mean, it's people are getting comfortable on the internet. Yeah. People getting super comfortable with the internet, but also
companies especially.
Like, Yeah. But the manpower jobs get replaced. They just added a shitload of more self-pay tills in my local Morrisons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's gonna get to the point in 10 years where there's just gonna be probably one person in there managing the machines, making sure they don't fuck up, and everything else done by the machine.
This is why I'm setting my kids up for success in the terms of like they've taken IT lessons out. I'm not sure if it's happening like nationally. But where my kids go to school, they've taken IT lessons out, but they're asking our kids to do their homework online with something called Active Learn, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know how to use the desktops that I have at home, but they're being told to do their work online.
On it, there's a disconnect. Yeah,
so there's a disconnect between like education and government establishments and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whereas companies and individuals are just thriving on it, like it's just growing. And it's only going to take a certain amount of time for government and institutions like schools and stuff to just click onto this sort of thing and be like, oh, we can start educating our kids online now as well. So if we can't get into school, maybe we can have a lesson or Udemy course, because Udemy is already around, online. You missed your math lesson. Okay, your math lesson is now online because you missed that lesson now. We recorded it in a webinar. You revision online. Now it's there. I think that's where we're going to be soon as well. Upwork is just the beginning. It needs
to happen, dude. It needs to happen. The kids aren't taught this stuff, bro. Like everything I know about computers, everything I know about technology, I taught myself because of my natural interest in it and my passion to go out there and find the info myself. But kids are technologically illiterate. They don't know. They don't even know how to go to the Finder and press save.
That's it.
They don't. I mean, the file at the top. They go file at the top and press save.
Save.
Some people don't know how to do that shit.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
People don't know simple stuff, man. And it's because, like, it's so simple. People get stuck on creating an account for a website, and it's like, dude, all the account creation stuff, it's the same.
Yeah.
They give you a form. You just go there, you press register, and then you fill the info. It's nothing new, but it's like people get stuck on this stuff, and it's crazy because this is the world we live in. And people aren't prioritizing this stuff. The IT classes, I remember even the IT classes I took back when I was in school, like 4 years ago, something like that. They were trash IT classes. We were playing Unreal Tournament. That's what we were playing. We were playing Unreal Tournament, and we were hooking it up. And for some reason, Unreal Tournament was on the school computers. I don't know. We was getting a LAN party going on. The main man, Johnny Jackman, he was setting it up for everybody. Remembering back, you know what I mean? And we was just fucking about, you know what I mean?
We didn't even have that. We had do you remember Miniclip? When you had the
of course. Yeah.
It was Flash Sonic. We were downloading Flash Sonic.
Yeah.
And then putting it in the document so the teacher couldn't see it. And then when the teacher turned back, and we were supposed to be like, you know, and YouTube started to grow, so we started watching YouTube, and you had the little. Do you remember the little maze that used to go around, and then you had that scary face that come up?
The maze game.
It began with that, with YouTube for us. Like that was what we were watching, and the maze would happen, and you'd get the scary face in your face. You know,
for some
remember
reason they used to do that as well. They started banning those in my school. Like for a while, we had all those mini clip, and there was like those bloody stick figure games, like those stick guys. But it was they like you blew them up, and it was all bloody and shit like that. And they started banning those. They said, no, we got the ban hammer. We got to stop. These kids are just fucking around on the games all lesson. We gotta get them off. Get people caught on, and then they did cool maths. Yeah.
It's like behind it as well. There's like an educational element to everything that we do online. So with the, for example, Momo.
That shit that's going on. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. My kids have just had a letter from their teacher about Momo.
It's a big thing right now because of the YouTube app where it's all going around or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like they're trying to educate them on protecting themselves online occasionally with letters like that when it explodes. So in a nutshell, if a video is to go viral or a trend is to go viral, everybody's paying attention to it. But with the normal everyday practices, there's a disconnect. You know,
it's going unnoticed. It's going unnoticed. And the thing is, there's kids sitting in school right now that don't know how to use the computer that they could potentially be creating a career for themselves on the internet just like this and building a business for themselves on the internet just like this. But a lot of these people might literally, just for a lack of being shown a different way, have to go into a conventional path of getting a job for somebody else, and then maybe years later realizing like, holy shit, there's all these opportunities on the internet. Why did nobody tell me about this stuff back when I was in a more moldable position to actually go after something like this?
There you go. And that's the main point with all that we've just raised, like with Momo challenge and all that sort of stuff with school and education is that there's a disconnect, and that's the reason why I'm telling you, Jack, what you're doing on YouTube is so valuable to growth in the future. Like, you've completely like elevated my career alone, let alone what you're doing for other people, you know, that aren't at the level that I'm at. So I commend you on what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. It's dope. It's worthwhile. It's valuable, and keep doing it. I'm gonna move on to the Upwork things now.
Thank you, bro. Let's do it.
Yeah, because I've got a few more. I've got quite a few questions that go into Upwork. We've tackled a little bit of video editing, we've tackled videography, and then we've got some stuff with YouTube and YouTube growth that I want to tackle as well.
I love it. It's going great, man. Let's keep cracking on.
Wicked. So basically with Upwork, there's a few different things that I've noticed about what can elevate your profile that haven't been covered in Upwork webinars. A lot of people don't know that there's Upwork webinars as well.
I haven't actually checked anything like that out.
Haven't you? Okay, so
no.
Oh, okay. There's basically, if you check your emails that you like, because I know you set up multiple accounts, but if you check your emails that Upwork sends you, there is actually like webinars that Upwork hold every now and then.
Cool. Yeah, and that's new information to me. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on 2 now.
Cool. So, okay, cool.
Yeah, so basically, with what I learned with that, the last one that I went on, is there's something called the Rising Star Program. Mm-hmm. And basically, when I've been applying to jobs, I've started to notice these qualifications that are at the bottom of every job that I'm applying to. The ones that I tend to get most of the time are the ones that I have every single thing ticked. You know, which is a factor that I've started to notice. So with this Rising Star Program, there is a process in which you get sent the Upwork jobs. You know, you don't have to apply for them. They send you the jobs, and it's straight in your email. Then you've got the option to accept the job or not. It's basically like, you know, when they send an invite. An invite.
It's
basically like how you you mentioned when you left, you made your Upwork profile and you left it, and then you got an invite which brought you back to the website.
Yep, exactly. That's how I got my first job.
That's it. Yeah. So the Rising Star Program is one of those things that if you're able to get onto it, it's completely like, you know, going to completely change your life in terms of the type of jobs that you can get on Upwork. You know, and that begins with, as you said, with a video intro to begin with. Right, so I just wanted to drop that before I ask the question completely.
Yeah, for sure. That's all new information to me. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to wait until we got into the podcast to tell you as well, just so everybody else can hear it as well.
I hear you.
So they can catch on to that as well. So the Rising Star Program, as well as webinars that you get into your email, definitely something that you want to be checking out and find out as well. They also have articles on the site that I completely missed when I first signed up. Articles, if you go to the top bar, I'm not sure where it is off the top of my head, but there's articles and forums that you can go in as well about Upwork, and that can help you elevate your career on Upwork as well. Also, definitely. Always watch Jack Cole, because he's always got some tips coming on his channel as well.
I got something. I'm giving it a go, man. For real, I'm giving it a go for a minute now.
There you go. So one thing that I like to ask that has been tripping me up every now and then. Is obviously with videography, there's a pricing process that you've got there. But with Upwork, a lot of the time, when you're applying to jobs, if it's fixed rate or it's hourly, like Upwork give you recommendations. But not only that, you can't see, if you're not on the Rising Star program, you can't see what other people are pricing their proposals at in order to try and compete with them. Right? But the Rising Star, I think, I'm not going to 100% quote this, but I'm pretty sure the Rising Star Upwork freelancers that have been accepted onto that program can see what other freelancers are pricing their proposals. So my question to you,
so they can get a better understanding of the competition.
That's it. So my question for you today, Jack, with in terms of that is, how do you go about pricing each product in terms of Upwork? Because, you know, the jobs that I go for in video editing are varied, because I've got a broad talent base, a broad talent. I don't know, a spectrum to call it.
Spectrum,
So it's like, I'm not sure, with every single project that I take, whether it's hourly or fixed pay, I'm not sure always what to go for, if you get what I mean. So what's the process that you go through when you're pricing fixed pay and hourly jobs on Upwork, especially when you're going for such a varied group of jobs?
Yeah, they're all different, right? So that's one of the main things where people ask me, oh, how much do you charge per video? And it's the most ridiculous question to ask, because like one video, we just talked about it, I got paid $20 for one of those 1-minute videos. Another video, I get paid £300. You know, for the car one. So it's such a massive different. That's it. Actually, when I lay it out like that, those are both 1-minute videos. One a micro content video that I got paid $20 for, £15. And one a 1-minute video as well, which I got paid £300 for. So there's such a massive spread, I guess you could call it, on that sort of stuff, right? So there's such a massive spread, and there's factors that go into it. So it's the type of job. For fixed pay, especially if we're just limiting it to Upwork, fixed pay stuff is obviously, it's already made up at that point. If they've said the job is $150 or $200 or whatever the case may be, they've stated that it is a fixed rate right there.
Yeah.
And the hourly, I go for usually at least like $30 an hour. So instead of trying to compete, I'm happy not getting a job and just going for one that I'm going to get paid, a more appropriate price.
Yeah.
Just for the nature of there being so much work. Like, I think I was a little bit more scared about losing jobs when I was first starting, and a little bit more in that competition mentality. Now I've kind of digested the site, so I'm aware the type of people that are on there. I'm aware the opportunity that's on there, and there's literally hundreds of jobs posted every day. So I'm fine applying to a shitload. And understanding that someone else might get that job, but I'm going to still get the next one, and I'm going to get the right money for it, right? So I think I always go in for, I've sort of defined my prices at this point, but they will kind of vary. But I usually go, if it's an hourly thing, I go about $30 an hour, but usually I like to do the fixed rate. So even if it's hourly, a lot of the time I'll try give them a breakdown. So I'll say, all right, cool. So this is gonna, this is gonna take, I'll get in a Skype call to them and kind of break it down to them and say, it's gonna take 3 hours on the edit, 2 hours here, 1 hour here, and 30 minutes here. I'll try break it down to them and kind
of.
It's
hard to do.
Yeah. Oh no, it is. It's
difficult,
it is. But that's taken practice. I've only been able to do that, let's say, past few months, where I've been able to actually know fully and break the whole thing down to them, and then it makes them more kind of easily accepting of a flat rate. So I kind of add it all up, say what it would potentially cost as an hourly rate, and then you know what I mean. Chop it down a little bit and round it off in terms of a flat rate. So I'm always trying to make it a flat rate. But I'll tell you what, I've had some weird fucking things on Upwork, man. I'll tell you. I've had this one guy who put up a job. It was $150. So I was like, great, that's already a good paycheck. $150 for a quick video. He needed a 1 minute video for $150. So I'm thinking, sweet, that's a cool little job right there. I apply. I go into the Skype call with him, and it turns out he wanted something different than what was described on the actual post. And he ends up paying me $500 for that. So the listing said $150. I got in a call. It turned out he wanted something different than what he described, and he paid me $500. So it's super weird. It's a super weird one. You know what I mean? You might be going for a flat rate, and it turns into more.
Yeah, no, I've had something similar. I had I think it was from like Israel or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was asking me for a job, and he, don't ban me Upwork, but he took it. He started emailing me like a brief and all these sort of things. And I realised what it was, and I was like, well, this is going to cost you a lot more. So then, the same situation, I ended up charging him more than what he was asking for originally in the price, because he didn't realise what was required of the job, which comes into my next question, which is how do you when somebody's you get awkward clients, right? And we're going to get into more awkward clients later on in the podcast, I think, because I've got more questions about that. But you get those clients that don't specifically know what they want. Yeah. Right? And they don't know what they want, because what they're telling you doesn't make 100% sense. 100%. Especially to people like us, like, it's not making sense, because that what they're saying isn't we know the whole
process, exactly. Yeah,
so
know the whole they're describing a process they don't really know firsthand.
That's it, yeah. Yeah. So what one thing that I did is I know how to make forms on PDF forms, so somebody can fill out a bunch of questions. Yeah. And answer these questions, and then therefore it answers the questions that they should be. It gives me the information that they should be giving to me. Yeah. What's your process of sort of sorting somebody out, so that they're not being an awkward client in the respect of not knowing and having the knowledge of what they're asking for?
Calls. I started getting confused with certain clients. They would text me something. I got a perfect example of this. A Vietnamese the same one that I did that video on yesterday. That Vietnamese cryptocurrency trading platform, right? They were talking to me in broken English, because they understand a bit of English, but they're Vietnamese. So naturally, they're using words which they think are correct. They're telling me to make something like look nicer, as in to improve it, to kind of change the design. Yeah. And they're telling me the quality isn't right. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, do they mean like it's not 1080p or it's not the right resolution for them?
Oh,
or
right.
What
So
are they
it's
talking about?
It's too vague.
And I'm solving a problem that they're actually not telling me to solve.
Yeah.
By telling me, Jack, the quality's not right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, all right, they clearly mean the resolution. My bad. I think it was a square video, so I was thinking I was making it in like 1080 by 1080 or something like that.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe they wanted a bit smaller, like 640 by 640, because that's
480 or something like that.
technically Facebook shit. I don't know. I was trying to
That's
figure it out
confusing,
what they were
mate.
talking about, right? But what they're actually talking about is they wanted it to be a nicer design in the video or something like that, right?
Oh, okay.
And that was over text. So I think that might have been one of the last clients I ever had where I didn't do the entire communication over a voice call, because tonality's there. There's little things that you just pick up on that are more of a real situation, and I'm super vocal. I'm never gonna wing something. I think at the first part of my career, I wanted to make myself look a little bit more mastery than I was. So if I didn't really understand what I'm doing, I'd wing it. I would wing it, and a lot of the time it does work out, but when it doesn't, you feel like an idiot. So I think winging it is stupid. Winging it is stupid, okay? What you want to do is you want to over-communicate. If they say something, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? If you don't understand it and you're just like, yeah, for sure, you're just creating a problem in 3 hours or 2 days when you have to send them that video, and the thing that you just, sure, it didn't look right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think over communication, there's no problem. The client would rather have a good final product and not have you sell them down the river during the actual, deal making kind of part, then you kind of be super agreeable and tell them you could do everything that they would like you to do, and then you don't deliver, because I'd rather over deliver and kind of be totally honest with them, like, I can't really do that, but I'll tell you I could do this, like here's this, here's that. And just over communication, literally over communication and voice calls. The voice calls for a younger freelancer is a little bit tougher to get over. I got freelancers all ages, 16 to 45. They're hitting me up. You know what I mean? So I got a massive broad spectrum, and it's a younger thing to be scared to get in that call, because it's just a natural thing when you're young. You know what I mean? Like you
get like, nervous when you
you get a little nervous and stuff talking to people and stuff. It's 100% fine. You need to punch that little feeling in the face, dive straight at it, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, and talk to them in the call, because you're not going to miss something when you're in the call. You probably won't. Like, they would have to fuck up communicating to you. You know what I mean? They would just have to mess up talking to you by giving you the wrong info for you to do it wrong. But over text, it's super easy for it to happen. In fact, it happens all the time, because it's context. Over text, things get lost in translation. He might have been maybe even making a joke. You don't know his sense of humor. You know what I mean? In a call, you can hear that sort of tonality and all that stuff, and you are way more, in my experience, filled in on what you need to do by talking to them directly.
Yep.
You have to, seriously, and that's something I had to learn by fucking up projects. You know what I mean?
Next question is it runs into the Rising Star. I think is it called Rising Star? I think it's called Rising Star program on Upwork again. Right, in order to get get that status on Upwork, you need to get a lot of 5-star reviews. Yeah. Right. And a lot of the time, what I'm noticing is you'll have, like, for example, one of my most regular clients on Upwork. He doesn't give me reviews because the contract never runs.
You gotta chase him up. You gotta chase him up.
Yeah, you gotta chase him up. What's like how would you voice that to somebody to try and really encourage them to give you your 5-star review on Upwork, so you can make sure that it's, obviously you're getting paid, but you want to make sure that it can give you more work in the future. Like you want to make sure that other people can see the result of the work that you've done for that client. Like
communication again, over communication. I think just like with every client I get into, I establish a good relationship right off the bat. So how you and me had a little pre-production thing before we started this podcast. We was joking, we was laughing about. There's good energy in there built up already. That's a very similar process to the one I do with a client. So I get in a call with a client and I'm joking around and I'm messing around. Well, that's my natural state. Like, I'm just a kind of joking about kind of guy. But I make it a more less formal relationship, and I over communicate something like that. So first off, I'll be honest, I might have gotten one review in my life. I've literally only ever accepted payment through Upwork one time.
Oh yeah, for real, because you don't like the 10-day period problem.
It's giving them 20% of my money.
Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it?
I don't want to
it's
do it.
painful.
Like I did it one time and I was like, oh, I just can't do this, man. I'm so dumb. In my mind, 20% is 30% and 30% is 50%. You know what I mean? That's how stupid my mind is. I'm like, no, I'm not giving them 50%.
But
It's like,
that's
hold
a huge
on.
issue though as well, because like I'm having to price higher when somebody's working with me through Upwork, because I'm having to think about that 20%.
Even out.
So what
I'm
I do,
telling you.
yeah. So what I do is I come up with, like, say like if it's a fixed price, I come up with a fixed price, but then I have to add the 20% or take away the 20% for it afterwards. Well, so
my biggest tip to people who are taking the money through there would be to bring people over to Skype or email and just take $5 or $10 of the payment through Upwork at the end, so they can give you your review, but you get the majority of the money clean through PayPal. That would be my biggest tip to people, is because I've seen, you know how you can see how much freelancers have made and how much people have paid on there?
Yeah.
You see crazy ones sometimes. You see like 400 grand spent. Shit like that. Like, I seen it. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. Like 80 grand of that went to Upwork. It's like freelancers and a freelancer. There's freelancers out there who've taken hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments and literally paid tens of thousands of dollars to Upwork. Now, that's your taxes there on that shit.
That's what I learned as well with the adverts that they've got on YouTube at the moment. Yeah. That is a big campaign. Like that's costing them a lot of money to put that campaign up. Right. So if you notice, like when you watch a video on I don't know if it's happening to you, because everyone's algorithm's different when you clicking things online. But especially your videos, before I watch your video, I'll have if I've got a non-clickable advert before it, or clickable advert, it's always Upwork. Yeah. Like 90% of the time, it's, hey, The Rock, do you want help with your 2020 presidential campaign? Cool. Yeah. This is Upwork. Do you like that font? And I'm like, whoa, okay, this is like the 200th time I've seen that advert. I know how much that costs. You know, so it's a lot of money that Upwork have, but part of it is a good thing, especially when you're just starting out, because you know that you're in good hands. Like, you know what I mean? You know that the website's not all of a sudden just going to be like, oh, you can't trust Upwork anymore, but it's not there anymore. Like,
and it's a safety net sometimes. That's the thing is you got to be careful. Like, I've never actually had a client not pay me. But in theory, it can happen, and that's why Upwork's nice right there, where you the client puts the money halfway, in this halfway point, the escrow, which it's there. That's the cool thing is now I'm at the point where I'm trying to take 40% of the money up front a lot of the time, just for the nature of I don't like being at liberty of doing the work and then them being like you know what I mean, I wanted this or I wanted that, and then we have some disagreement that results in us not working together or something. Yeah. So I've been trying to take some money up front as sort of like a safety net, but I think that's the biggest benefit from Upwork is the fact that they give you this safety net of this middleman. They're the middleman. They're just a nice, unbiased character in the middle who takes the money and then passes it to you once they've received confirmation of the work being done. I mean, I've had one... Go on. Yeah? Now, I've had one dispute, only one. I've only had one dispute on Upwork, and basically the client received the work and just disappeared. Like they received the work. I was like, I'm gonna run with this now. This is better than I thought. That I was, because I overdid it. Yeah. It never happens. That's crazy. Yeah, it happened. Yeah. So basically, it was a Square video campaign. Yep. And at first, he was taking a mick with it. So I gave him the first copy, and then he turned around and said, I don't like this text here. Can you change this to say a different sentence? It had pop-ups of text on it. Right. Yeah. Then the third time round, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this guy a questionnaire. So I did one of my questionnaires. I gave it to him. He answered my questions. I completed everything that he asked for then. And then just disappeared. Like, didn't I was waiting for the payment. Like, I delivered it through Dropbox. Didn't clear it or whatever, Yeah, didn't clear it, didn't pay it. So I went through the disputes team with Upwork and he paid it. But that's it. I didn't get a review for it. That was the only downfall with it. I didn't get the review for it. Yeah. Well, that's good that Upwork can actually step in. I think that's the best thing about them, man. Literally is, it'll most likely happen to me. You know what I mean? If it hasn't happened already, I probably just got lucky. I'm sure somebody will try not pay me in the future. You know what I mean? The best thing about it is you're taking 40%. You're taking a percent of the money before you even. You know what I mean? That's what you want. That's what you want. That's what I've noticed, bro. Is because it ties them in. You know what I mean? It just ties them into the project right there. Whereas they're going to be way more invested in making this work. If something does start going wrong, God forbid, 99% of the time never does. Yeah. But 1% of the time it does. You want something set up so you're not fucked over in that situation. There you go. Because I've been in a situation where I've done some work and then they just said it's not what we'd liked. And they've got no foot in that relation. They've got no real necessarily not leverage. What's it called? They've got no need to continue this relationship. They're happy to just throw it away and go find somebody else. Opposed to if you do get into an unfortunate situation like that, which 99% of the time doesn't happen. If you've already taken a sort of down payment, they're more invested in making that relationship and making that project work together. Which I think for the 1% of the time something goes wrong, is a good position to be in.
Yeah. Do you think that like the way, like for example with my fixed pay pricing or I should say my hourly pricing, do you think the way I'm pricing my hourly jobs on Upwork due to the 20% could be affecting the acceptance rate that I'm getting? Because don't get me wrong, I'm getting work, but I feel like a lot of the ones that I'm not getting may be due to the type of pricing that I'm doing, which is why I focused on pricing earlier on in terms of talking about Upwork. I think that 20%, do you think that's maybe one of the things that is a huge factor?
Yeah, it's a tough one. And what I found with the client is the client doesn't care where they're paying you. You know what I mean? It's the same thing for them to pay you through PayPal that it is for them to pay you through Upwork.
Yeah.
You get some of them who are weird, who they've been doing it for a long time and they like Upwork and they want to stick to it. The one guy who I swear to, I've only received one payment through Upwork that I can remember. I might have received two or something. I don't know, but I can only remember one specific one.
Yeah.
And the guy had like a few grand spent on Upwork. He'd clearly been doing it for a while on Upwork and he just liked Upwork and he wouldn't pay me anywhere else. He had to do it through Upwork. So I think it's just some people get attached to it and they get a little safety net. But for the most clients, they don't care where they're paying you. They really don't. In fact, like for example, any business-minded client who I get in the call with, I just tell them, is it cool to get through PayPal because I don't want to give Upwork 20% of my money? And they laugh. They're like, 20%? Of course. Let me give you that through PayPal, buddy. Don't worry, because they can imagine 20% of their fee for whatever they do as a business person getting taken. It's like, no, we're not having that. That's 20%. That's a considerable percentage. We're not doing that.
There you go. Because at the end of the day, they're getting that at a cheaper price then. Because I always do say to anyone I find on social media that knows me from Upwork, I always say, but I'm gonna have to charge you a bit more if you find me through Upwork. It's the same with free. I didn't stick with a freelancer.
Yep.
Surely because of the price I had to pay to stay on that site.
And it's a weird one, that one. It's a whole bid sort of situation and everything. I didn't gravitate to freelancer very well. I think when I first started on Upwork, my idea was like, holy shit, I'm doing so good on Upwork. There's probably like 5 more Upworks. I could be doing fucking amazing. And then I realized that Upwork's the one. Like, there's nothing better than Upwork. Upwork is literally the best service of its kind on the entire internet. So I think you're wasting your time. And there's hundreds of jobs posted every day in every job.
Yep.
Like, I think I read some stat when I was doing some research for a video that there's like fucking 250 jobs posted, new jobs in every single category on Upwork daily. So you can only apply for 30 jobs.
That's dope.
And there's 250 a day posted. So there's infinite work. You can call that infinite work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, next question's an interesting one, and this is again, it's coming from like my experiences and things that I've just really wanted to ask you and get in a podcast and ask you. One that I've got is I've got a playlist on YouTube called Edits for Clients. Because I like to like showcase some of the work that I've done, but that work that is in that playlist at the moment is quite old, and the reason why that's still there, and the reason why it's old content that's there, is because a lot of the time, when you're creating for these big companies and stuff, it's like taking away from their company when I'm sharing their videos. Like, it's like, for example, if it's a Udemy course or it's for a YouTube channel that they want to upload. Like, so I always feel like, how is it? Obviously, you need to showcase the work when you're making your proposals or, or you're asking someone about the job and stuff like that. So, like, say like, for example, the last job that I've just got is for the last one I just got through Upwork was for a real estate company guy, and basically he was, trying to pitch his real estate virtual business.
Yep.
And then basically I've just edited it up and post-production edited it for YouTube as well as Instagram and Twitter. And the thing is, I'm having to now wait for the client to upload the video in order for me to showcase it so that people can see the recent work that I've done, because he said it's okay. Because I like to ask them first. I like to present, if it's paid and premium content, I'm going to ask you first. Or if it's something that you're like premiering for the first time, this new thing is premiere on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. If you want to post it first, I normally ask first, right?
Yeah.
So what's the best process, do you think, in order to, once you've worked the client, to showcase it? You know, on Upwork, you've even got a place where you can link it or you can upload the file.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
do you keep the file yourself and then upload it
Always.
to that portfolio or your own YouTube?
I always keep it. I got everything uploaded to Dropbox usually, right? So I keep everything on Dropbox. So if I ever need to link someone to an individual client, individual work, I'll send them it to Dropbox, which is pretty much just a, you know, if you're uploading it to YouTube as unlisted, that's almost what Dropbox is. It's just a place where it's uploaded where you could just gotta send them the link so they can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think Dropbox is a good place to do that shit where you won't interfere with them, or naming it something different. For example, you know, to reference my most recent shoot last week, I did the car company. You know, if I upload that as a showcase of my work, I won't call it exactly what it is, which their company's called, like Win This Promotional Company or something like that. I just call it car promo sample. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So titling it something different so it's not interfering with their searches. You know what I mean? So if you got, if it's a YouTube video, that's a tough one, because if it's like top 10 Italian beaches to spend the weekend, you know what I mean? And that's the video. You can't upload it called top 10 Italian beaches to spend the weekend,
Take
because
up
then
the
you're
algorithm.
interfering. We're interfering with their search result, and you're basically the same as someone taking their video, download it from a YouTube to MP4, and then uploading it again as their own. You know what I mean? So it's interfering with their stuff. So I think titling it different, putting it on a website that doesn't compete called Dropbox. But also, I'm brutal with this stuff sometimes, so I can't even lie. I've been paid to do a whole Adobe Premiere Pro course. Like, I was hired, probably like the most on-point job that made the most sense for me to do ever. I was hired to do like a 7-hour Adobe Premiere Pro course, teaching through the whole thing. And you know, I was hired. I was paid $750 to do the whole thing. And he put it on Udemy, but I just took it and I put the whole thing up on YouTube. I put the whole thing up on YouTube a few months later, bro. And it's got tens of thousands of views. It's probably the #1 search result for learn Adobe Premiere Pro. I did the guy dirty. I did him real dirty. Oh my God. I feel bad, but at the same time I don't. I'm sorry, bro. It's a tough one, you know. So I did the guy dirty in that situation.
But it's like one of those though, because you're like, it's your likeness on the video. So it's like it's you. So it's like, you know, like, where do you, like, you know what I mean? Where do you draw the line of, well, it's me on the video, so...
that's a little bit of a different one, right? So I felt like he can't really, you know, take me down over this thing. And we didn't, the thing is, bro, if we'd have had a formal contract, I wouldn't have done him like that. But we didn't have a formal contract. We didn't have anything. So I was thinking, you know what? This is it's me on the video. This is going to help a lot of people by me giving this away. And I gave it away. And it was a great decision. It's probably one of the best videos I have up. It's about 4.5 hours, something like that. 5 hours nearly. And it's just the entire course condensed down into like a full video. And, you know, every day I get tens of comments of people saying, thank you so much. But they're also saying RIP to the people who paid for this course. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Hey, man. It's a hustle out here, bro. I'm crazy with it. I'm a little ghetto with it.
That's sick. Bro, give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna have to pause, but I've got plenty more questions left to go. And closing up Upwork and then onto YouTube. I'm just gonna take my little one upstairs because she's fell asleep.
Dude, like, to be honest, I didn't even want to throw the energy off, but I need to go fill up my water bottle and take a pee as well. So that's perfect. Situation. We'll come back in 2 seconds.
All right, back in a sec. Where was I with Upwork now? I think I was closing up at Upwork actually, because there's not much there's not much you can ask about Upwork until you get to a point where it's like you have to be proactive with it and just like test things out, and it, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you just gotta mess with stuff. Literally, I think the #1 problem that I think people have it on the internet with Upwork is getting approved. Did you ever have to get approved?
It's instantly. I didn't need to do anything.
Neither. So it's such a tough thing, because every single person that's telling me that they're getting blocked from getting approved, it's a problem I've never been through in my entire life. I've made so many Upwork accounts for the nature of me taking the client off of Upwork and then Upwork banning my account because they've seen me saying, yo, come over to Skype or something like that.
Oh, okay.
For the nature of that, I've got like 15 different accounts, 20 different accounts, who knows, throughout the past year or so, 2 years. And I've never had to get approved, man. And it's the biggest stopper for a lot of these people. And I think I don't know what Upwork has. I think with the approval thing, I've narrowed it down to certain demographics of not demographics, certain genres of work. I think people who are in India, in the Philippines and stuff, a lot of them are trying to target like data entry jobs and stuff like that. And
is it a cheaper rate?
They just get rejected every time. Like, I think there's just not enough work going in specific fields for certain freelancers.
I think the reason why people in India might be getting rejected, and it's not 100% fair, but I think that's because of the pricing that they can offer. So they can undercut a lot of people because of the conversion rate.
Yeah, they'll work for $5 for a video. A whole 10-minute video, they'll make it for $5. But it's an alright paycheck, I guess, right?
So to them, that's quite a lot of money. Yeah. So I think I don't know if it's whether to keep it fair or what or how that works. I'm not sure. I don't think it's fair to be honest. But it's Upwork that are pulling the strings with that, so we can't really there's nothing we can do about that really.
Exactly, man. That's actually a good point about the fact that the money goes further, so they're more willing to undercut, and it's a big deal, man. Literally, it's a big thing. But a lot of people are going through it. I've probably put out at least 5 different videos trying to help these people, but it's like I'm trying to help fix a problem I never been through. So it's like shit. I'm sort of shooting in the dark with a lot of this stuff, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Where that's why I tend to stick around the topics that I have a lot of info on. So I could genuinely provide a lot of value, opposed to just trying to, and then maybe hit and miss type of thing. But let's keep cracking, because I just wanted to mention that a lot of people get stuck on that shit, man. I mean, emails every day.
One thing that might help though, which I noticed, is like the strength of the profile. So basically, when I first got my profile up on Upwork.
Yeah.
Like, I did as much as I could. I filled as much as I could. Like, so
everything.
And there's like a section. Yeah, there's a section where you can add qualifications, but not only qualifications, there's exams that you can do on Upwork.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So even if you haven't got the qualifications, you can still show that you were able to do something by doing their exams. I mean, don't get me wrong, they haven't got a Premiere Pro exam. They've got a Final Cut Pro one, but it's based on Final Cut Pro 7. Or something like that, or 12. Like I think I started on Express back in, when I started Final Cut Pro. Anyway, I started Final Cut Pro on Express, and that was in 2008 or 2009 or something like that.
Completely different software then.
Completely different software. It was completely different. Like, even when you were importing your sound layers, like you had to import it in a different way and all different. You couldn't drag and drop. There was no drag and drop.
Yeah, of course.
There was nothing like that, and the space that you needed to run that piece of software was just like, is ridiculous compared to what it is today.
Yeah, now it's pretty natural. You still need a strong system to do video editing nice and seamlessly, but it's a different thing though, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What would you say? We're on Upwork, aren't we? So I've lost track of where I am now because I've just had a drink of water and gone upstairs.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. It's all good. We're just mixing this shit up. It's a podcast, bro. We can talk about anything on here.
It was flowing as well, man. It was bumping. It was like that was it. What would you recommend for somebody that can't add their qualifications or past history to their Upwork profile? What would you recommend is the thing that they should focus on to make their profile stand out and be strong? And say they haven't got a YouTube channel as well. What would be the thing if their bare minimum was to say they've done video editing work but can't show examples? What would you say that they need to do for their profile in order to get approved, but not only get approved but also get proposals and get the reason why they're on Upwork in the first place, get paid and get the work in?
There's 2 things that seem to be factors, and that's the skill level. So selecting expert, I think. If you're, just select expert. Select that you're expert. Even aspire to be that, even if you're not an expert there, right? So definitely select expert.
Yep.
Expert, obviously, you know what I mean? If you just started today, you probably have no business being a freelancer. Okay, so you shouldn't select expert in that case. But if you're pretty good, an average creator, select expert. That will help you. If you're up against expert and a mediocre, why wouldn't you go to expert? And don't sell yourself short. You're an expert at something, all right? So just select expert. That's crucial right there. If you're trying to apply from even a country where you know there could be a bias, a lot of people on there they say no Filipino freelancers or no Indian freelancers for the nature of they don't want a disconnect in language and stuff like that, which is totally acceptable. But Putting the English proficiency. A lot of people on there want to work with someone who speaks fluent English.
Yes.
So if you do have English on your side, selecting the proficiency, English proficiency of native or bilingual, that's going to help you get the job. A lot of people want to, communicate with, the nice and easy communication. They don't want things getting lost in translation. I've experienced that on the other end of being, me being English and them being Vietnamese and telling me one thing and it's a different thing. So I can understand why that's a thing. Those are two things that can really play a part. And then just making your profile look healthy, man. So I'm talking a few 100-word bio, nice picture of you smiling maybe at the computer or just smiling, little charismatic smile on your face. A smile goes a long way, man. It really does. It's like, all right, cool, this guy's a nice guy here, whatever the case may be. It might be subconscious. But they might still take in the information that you're a nice guy who's worth working with because you got a little smile in your profile picture and shit, and just making the profile look healthy. If you don't have past work, you have to understand that this is going to be a very tough race for you. I'm not going to sell you short. I'm not going to lie to you and try and make this sound like an easier thing than it is. Going to be very fucking tough for you if you don't have past work. Not past work that you've been paid for. Past work of any variety. Okay. When I started freelancing, this is what people get confused on, is I say you need past work. I don't mean past work as in shit that you've necessarily been paid for. Okay. I mean past projects that accurately represent what you can do for this potential project that you're applying for. So for me, bro, when I found Upwork, I didn't have really any projects that I've been paid for, but I just had little little intros that I'd made for YouTube channels of mine, or little outros or something. Or I think I had one app promo video where my older brother, he worked at this startup company in New York a few years ago called Roger, this app, and he just super informally, he knew I was a creator, so he sent me some clips of the app and had me edit them up like a little press release video. So I had that and two other projects, and I think I just used projects that I'd made that were passion projects to myself to accurately show my work. And then what I'd suggest is, if you don't have any past work, it's worth creating something. It's worth literally creating something. Going back to what we said about pinpointing a popular video type on Upwork, if you could pinpoint a popular video type on Upwork and then create a sample that you're acting like you got paid to create, but you actually just made for yourself, that's a great thing. And it's not. You're not deceiving people because you're not deceiving them on what you could do. You are deceiving if you stole mine or Anthony's work and passed it off as your own. That's not showing what you can accurately do. You know what I mean? But if you're just recreating something that looks like a paid project, it's still showing what you can accurately do. And that's the objective of showing past projects. It's showing what you can do. And it's even better if you can create a video intro. That's the holy grail. You're getting jobs instantly, because then you can tell them what you do. You could sit there and be like, hey, how's it going? I'm Jack. I'm the perfect guy for this job. I am a video editor, videographer, and YouTuber producing weekly content. You know what I mean? Just do your little spiel, and it's very easy to sell them.
Yeah, I mean,
going above and beyond. That's what I would say. The last thing is, people are messaging me on my Instagram lately, and they're saying, I sent 6 proposals, how come I don't have a job? Or I sent 3 proposals, how come I don't have a job?
10:30.
Exactly, bro. I used to wake up, I'm telling you, Anthony, bro, I used to wake up, send 30, wake up the next day, make a new account, send 30, wake up the next day, make a new account, send 30.
Another thing as well is people forget about time zones when they're on Upwork. So I've noticed this recently, is basically, if it's an American client that I'm messaging, right, and you can see, because they literally give you where the American client lives, right?
Tells you everything, yeah.
There you go. I wait until that American client is awake and it's past 9 a.m. in the morning. Then I message them. Yeah. Right, so a lot of the time, what I'm finding is, obviously here in the UK, we've got the same time zone over the whole of the UK. Yeah. Right, so I wait until 12 midnight before I start looking for some jobs sometimes. Right, because I know that's when a lot of because let's be honest, there's not as many UK jobs on there at the moment. As we said about the earlier on in the podcast, the transition hasn't completely happened over here.
Totally.
Right, so there's more American and Vietnamese and
That's why we're dealing with dollars. I've received very few payments in pounds.
Yeah.
And, we both live in the UK. The whole freelancer market, people might even get confused on my channel sometimes when I'm talking as in the primary currency I'm talking about is dollars.
Yeah.
And it's because of that situation there is the market hasn't really caught up necessarily over here where people are looking for remote workers there often.
Yeah, very often.
All the time.
I mean, another thing that the next question I've got, interesting, should help a lot of people as well. And you've recently done this with your project breakdown videos.
Yep.
And basically, one thing that people struggle with is search terms that you should put that you should be putting into Upwork in order to find the jobs that you find, and then the filters at the top.
Yeah.
So, let's say, for example, a regular YouTube job which is ongoing. What would be the search term and the filters that you would apply for that? Because even I struggle to find. You know, obviously there's 200 jobs in each industry that's posted on Upwork per day. Like, you know what I mean? But even
stuff gets lost.
Yeah, it gets lost sometimes. Like, it gets filtered into different things. So, because what Upwork tends to do as well is once you've done a search term with filters applied, you go to search that search term again, and it's doing the exact same filters.
Oh yeah, I know. That's annoying. That's very annoying right there. That's why you got to retype the search term. Because if you, I found what happens if you put a search term in and then apply filters, and then you click on it and you click on to the search bar to put another term in. It'll give you a drop down menu of previous search terms you've done. If you select that again it'll use the filters. But if you retype it in, even if it's the same thing, it won't apply the filters. So I get that when I'm looking for videography jobs in the UK, where it obviously, if I type in videography, it knows to apply the filter of just UK jobs, because I'm obviously not really trying to find international stuff, because, you know, it's probably not going to work out. They're probably not going to fly me out there. But in terms of different search terms, a lot of the time, if I'm just trying to find any type of editing work, like if I somehow wake up one morning, I'm like, oh shit, like I got no work to do right now, I got nothing to do, I need to drum up some work, I'll just type in video editing and I'll just apply to everything that's there. But YouTube related stuff, I just type in YouTube video editing, or for example, yesterday this went into it where app promo video, that's a hot topic right there, where you got jobs posted all the time. Literally yesterday, someone could just go take a template and sit there all day and just make app promo videos for people all day long using a template, my friend. For real. They could just sit there and do it. And that's a good search term. And I think it's just using common sense, man, for real. Because I mean, like social media video editing, that's another one. So I think just a genre or a category followed by the service you're offering. So YouTube, video editing. Social media, video editing. App promo video. It's pretty practical when you start putting the two and two together, I think. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's one thing, you know, like, as you said, like, the ideal thing you want to use Upwork for, especially when you're venturing away from Upwork for that, you know, getting away from that 20%, is to use Upwork as, like, as leads. It's a place to find your leads.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like the same way you use social media, you use Facebook in that sort of way. If you're looking for, you know, there's communities on Facebook now, like groups, freelancing groups where people post their jobs in that group and you're getting work from it, like, you know, not very often as compared to Upwork, obviously, but, you know, every now and then you can find somebody posting on a group saying, I need a video edited with motion graphics and so forth, and, you know, you might be able to hit them up in the messages and then do a PayPal payment. So 100% with that, and you know, those filters, I'm always saying, you gotta watch out for those filters, because it can really trip you up. It can really...
I know. That's the thing, bro. Like, you accidentally search for something and you're thinking, 4 hours ago is the latest job. Hold on. What the fuck's wrong today?
What did I miss?
What happened today? Our business was booming yesterday. What happened here? And then you realize you got some stupid filter on there. And you're like, God damn it, my bad. I mean, so watch the filters. That's an interesting one. But I think you get comfortable with Upwork at a certain point where you'll notice something like that. But I think that's a good point to bring up, because people who aren't comfortable or that familiar with the platform could be susceptible to something like that, and it's actually a very easy fix.
I mean, it's even like at the top as well, where you've got like after you've searched it and you put your filters in and you've got your search term and it brings up the results. On the top of the results, it's got the type of content that it wants to show you. So it's got relevancy, latest or newest,
sponsored,
sponsored. I haven't used any sponsored yet, but sponsored as well. Like, so that as well, that drop down menu. Like, I've only recently started paying attention to this. That's the thing. So I've been getting jobs without applying this. You know, because of the video intro.
Of course.
Like, so there's things like that as well, and there's you know, as I said, like earlier on in the podcast, I was speaking about like the qualifications at the bottom of each proposal, and Upwork notify you when you're applying for something that you haven't got the so quote unquote, I'd say, got the qualifications or proved you've got the
Yeah,
qualifications
yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of the time I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I've done that just off Upwork, so I can't prove that on Upwork I've done. Do you get what I mean? Like, for example, 100
Yeah.
hours, like something stupid like 100 hours worth of work.
Those
like,
things I find I could still get those kind of jobs even if applying. Like if it says 100 hours of completed work or something like that, I usually apply to them anyways. And I've gotten some of those jobs before because the client is really, they're fucking, like, I treat the client like a little child sometimes. With the way they're doing it, like they don't know how to create what they're saying they want to create. They're just trying to, as accurately give you the information that they want created, right? So you got to read between the lines sometimes with these people and be like, 100 hours, all they want is a credible person. I know if I send them my video intro, they're going to see me on screen and they're going to know I'm a credible person. So I think read between the lines sometimes with some stuff like that and understand the client knows a rough idea of what they want, but they're hiring you because you actually know how to create the shit at the end of the day. So you could step in and don't feel like you're, you know what I mean, talking down to somebody or anything like that. I think most clients have a good reception when I actually take a more leading role in telling them, in actually kind of more telling them what to do, opposed to being like, oh, this is how we should do it, this is what we should do here, opposed to just letting them spew whatever they're talking about, because a lot of the time they don't know
what they're talking about.
A lot of the time they don't, and it's no knock on the client, no bad-mouthing them or anything, but a lot of the time they have a vision in their mind, but they got no clue how to articulate it at all. So
it's like I tend to get that with motion graphics a lot of the time. Like, people always think you definitely 100% need After Effects to create motion graphics, and I'm like, no, you don't. Like, so like, I tend what I've done with my update. This is one of the reasons why I updated my video intro is because I feel like one of the elements that I had, which was constantly focusing on Final Cut Pro X, it made those people that were focusing on those clients that were focusing on Premiere.
Because they don't know,
shy away and be like, well, he's not using Premiere, so he can't do the job. Like, meanwhile,
100%. I've had another podcast guest who he uses HitFilm Express, and he's been using it for years and years. He's an absolute beast with HitFilm Express. I know the dude personally. He's an amazing editor, and they're not trusting him because they hear HitFilm Express. What's that? You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know about that shit. I'm not trusting you. Again, that's a smart move. It's because the client actually is pretty ignorant when it comes to the video production world, obviously, because they're coming in from a business world or something like that, and they might be super smart, intelligent, and successful in that world, but it's a whole different world that they're entering here. And they're just going off of social norms that they've heard, like, oh, Premiere Pro, that's that one that they use to edit stuff, and they've heard it in the past or whatever, and it's just a little fragment of info that they've got.
Anything Adobe
assumptions.
Like literally anything Adobe, is the quote unquote normal standard for
industry
video
standard.
With these
Adobe's the industry standard. That's what they think.
That's the word.
The thing is, with a combination like Final Cut and Apple Motion or something like that, you can make some really, really nice stuff. And it's personal preference, because like I said, HitFilm Express, that's a completely free video editor. And this dude that I know, he could do what some people could do in Premiere, and he could do it in a free editor. You know what I mean? So it's about the person that actually is doing the work at the end of the day, because it's just a skill level, man. Like I think there's people that are editing an iMovie that can make sick shit, and it's iMovie. So it's like it's all about the creative themselves.
So another tactic that I've done as well is after the proposal has been made. And it's been, for example, like 24 days or something stupid like that, and it's an hourly role. Like, I've gone back into the proposal and changed the pricing. Right. Normally that's because I've started to chop into that 20% in order to let the person know, look, here's where I'm going to cut the line of this is the cheapest I'm going to go. Yeah. If you haven't found anybody yet, this is what I'm looking to offer for that. And this is what I'm looking to as low as I can go. And sometimes that's worked, and people will come back to me and oh, you've dropped your price. Why have you dropped your price? I was like, I've chopped into the 20%.
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm gonna move on to YouTube because I feel like I've been.
Dude, let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like I've been too Upwork right now. I
think we smashed the Upwork stuff. We smashed the videography. We smashed the video editing. We smashed the Upwork stuff. if somebody's watched the whole thing so far, which I'm sure multiple people have, they have gained a shitload of value so far, man. Let's take it home. Let's take it home.
Do it. Let's go all the way.
Hell yeah.
YouTube. I've got a lot of questions about YouTube. Obviously,
Okay.
I've been using the site for quite a while, but I've had multiple channels or channels that I've dropped off because I'm no longer in that niche. For example, before I even done the kickboxing videos, I forgot to mention this. Before I done the kickboxing videos for Simon Akufo and Cash the Flash, and recently, I think you even watched the martial arts video I done for Andrew Chi Osborne, who's now making his documentary.
Okay.
He was the martial arts guy who you've seen, where I done that effect where the yin and yang that he was holding sort of motioned into the shot.
I forget. I'm not too sure I saw this. I'm not too sure.
It was the guy with the sword, and he was a martial arts guy, and he was talking about an attack that happened to him, I think.
I remember a tiny bit about this. Yeah, I remember a tiny bit about this. Yeah.
Even before
my bad.
Yeah, definitely. That was a throwback. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, even before I done that, the niche that I was actually focusing on was anime music videos.
Okay, cool.
Right, which at first, you know, it was definitely, I was into things like Dragon Ball and Naruto and things like that.
No, of course.
So it's where I began to like mask things and draw masks and shape masks and put a layer underneath that mask. You know, when for example, there was a shot where I used a Naruto through a kunai, and I've masked the kunai, and it's gone black behind the kunai, and then somebody else has been there, and then it's cut to a shot where somebody's got pierced with the kunai.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like I was playing around with masking and a little bit of green screen and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
When I was on that niche, I realised it wasn't for me. And then I tried to, on the same channel, change the niche of the channel. Now I realise that you've done this. And you've done this, and you've done this successfully. Right?
It took a while, bro.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to ask you, what went into that transition for you? How did you go from It's Jugs here to It's Jack Cole? Because that transition was amazing. Like you've done that really, really well. Like I haven't been able to. I'll be honest with you. I haven't been able to completely switch these. Don't get me wrong. On my channel now, on Anthony Allen Edits, I've got I've got two different types of niches. You know, one's focusing on video editing, but the other's focusing on product reviews and unboxings and things like that. So there's two different sides to the channel.
They're related though. They're related. I think that's what you want to mix in there is fine related stuff, bro. It was the fucking toughest thing in the entire world, bro. I'm telling you. I envy anybody starting a new YouTube channel from scratch because you don't have something that I had, which unfortunately, I canceled everybody's favorite show. I had thousands of people here, and I canceled their favorite show and replaced it with some nonsense that they didn't give a fuck about. This is gaming kids. My average viewer is in their 20s right now. Okay, my average viewer's in their 20s, and they're a professional person. They're a freelancer like yourself. My viewers go from about, the youngest is probably about I got some kids that are about 14 and stuff, so probably about 14 to like 40 something, right? But my oldest viewers, my oldest viewers back then would be like 14. So where my youngest viewers start today, my oldest viewers were there back then, because obviously, it's the gaming niche. I'll just call little kids. So I canceled these little kids' favorite show. It's like the Disney Channel canceled the Disney Channel, and they replaced it with what's some shit the kids don't like, some National Geographic. Right? So it's like I took the Disney Channel and replaced it with the National Geographic, but it's under the same channel number 39, whatever it is, and they're all coming to their channel. They're expecting to see Disney Channel, and they got National Geographic. What do you think the response was? They hated me, bro. Oh my God. It was for 12 months. They hated me, man. They said,
why'd you cancel Dragon Ball?
Yeah, you threw your whole career away, dumbass. You'll never make it at this shit. You may as well just call it a wrap. And I knew this was the shit for me. To be honest, I hadn't done the YouTube, the gaming stuff in a little while. Like I phased out from it for a little while, and I went kind of inactive for like about a year and a half, 2 years between the transition. And I was freelancing. I was doing my freelance thing, and I was just finding Gary Vee. And Gary Vee was saying, don't create. Document over create.
Yes.
And I was still in the mind of creating entertainment-based content, but he was telling me to document over create. So I was like, all right, fuck this entertainment-based content. I'm going to show people what I'm doing with this freelance stuff and just teach them and be an open book and just document what I'm really doing in real life and just try provide value just like this guy is to me, Gary V. And started that June 9th of 2017, uploaded it. I was losing subscribers for at least the first 8 months. So imagine going onto your Social Blade. You know about Social Blade, right?
Yep.
Of course. Imagine going there every day for the first 8 months to 12 months and it was just red. Constant. So red, everything red, everybody unsubscribing, thousands of people unsubscribing, and in the same time it's coupled with them in the comment section. Let me clarify, because I don't want to throw all my subs out of the bus. It goes two ways. You got one guy, one version of my subscribers, right? One character who's saying, fuck you, motherfucker. You threw your entire life away. You threw your career away. You fucking may as well have just jumped off a bridge. You fucking suck. Like, I want GTA 5 trolling back.
Damn!
Nobody gives a shit about anything. No, for real. Like, I'm exaggerating a tiny bit, but that's kind of the essence of what they're telling me.
To be fair, you're probably not exaggerating, because trolls on YouTube are a whole different level.
Wait, bro. They want to destroy you, bro, for real. So it would be that's one character who'd be like, fuck you, you threw your career away. This shit sucks. Everybody wants the game it back, blah, blah, blah. And then you got someone else who's like, wow, I've been following you for like 5 years now, bro. I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing. I'm into the videography as well. This is so cool that you've, transitioned, and I'm glad you're happy. So it's two spectrums, you know what I mean? You got the ultra troll who's like, oh, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And then you got someone who understands. They're a little bit older, you know what I mean? And they understand the transition. But it was the toughest thing I did, bro. I'm telling you. I've only, now when I look at my stats, it's pretty funny to think back that I was losing subs for the first about 12 months and that everyone was hating, but it was a very tough thing to do. And YouTube, I've only just figured out what type of content I make. That's the thing that's probably tougher. It's very hard for YouTube to unlearn the type of, you got to upload for 18 months for YouTube to relearn the type of content you're making. So they were trying to promote me. That's why I privated all my gaming videos as well. Is because I probably would still be in a battle to compete with the views that they were getting, because it was a pretty big thing. And you got to tell YouTube the type of content you make, which is why if you're making shitloads of weird different content, one day you make a gaming video, the one next day you make this video, that video, YouTube have such a hard time of figuring what type of content you are, and they don't promote you correctly. So it took me about 18 months to make YouTube relearn that I'm a video production YouTuber. And now it makes perfect sense. Like, I've seen my suggested videos go up and up and up over the past couple months, and I feel as though they've only just learned who I am and what I actually offer. It does, bro. And that's the main thing you're up against, more so than a fan base hating you or whatever, because you could deal with some shit like that. If you're making content you enjoy and that people are getting value out of, because, I still got the people who are saying, wow, you're teaching me something. Holy shit, I just learned some shit. And you know what I mean? You got the people who are authentically finding my videos and actually benefiting from them. So it was always a no-brainer. I was like, well, if I'm providing value and I've only got 50 views, I'm sure I'm providing a lot of value if I got 50,000 views. And that was my mindset behind it. So I was like, I may as well continue this shit. I'm going to keep going. I think I hit a point where I was just like, I'd uploaded maybe 30, 40 videos, something like that. Maybe not even, maybe only 16. And I was like, I'm going all the way with it. I'm going all the way in. I'm going to upload daily. I'm just going to go constantly at this thing right here. And I think I did a month of uploading daily, and then I sort of slacked off for a little bit. I was uploading every other day or something, and then I kind of got back to the daily thing about 6 months ago, and I've been every single day for about 6 months now, man, and it's been the craziest fucking thing for my channel ever.
Is that how the daily thing works then? Because it sounds like with the the daily content, it helps you build your key search results.
So much. The momentum you build is insane. So if you upload 3 times a week, you're gonna get more views collectively on all of them. But if you upload every day, you get more views collectively across the board. You know what I mean? So you just keep uploading. You have to take a loss in terms of the average that the videos get at first.
Yeah.
But people love daily shit, and there's people who watch them every day. It's nuts. There's people who watch them every day. People watch my stuff. Some kids watch it for entertainment and stuff. They're not even a freelancer or anything. They're just watching because they're interested in video and they want to do it later on in life or something. They watch the video on an entertainment basis even. So it's holy shit. But what was the original question? How to change over with a niche?
Change niche.
So tough. I would have made a new channel if I didn't have a massive subscriber count that I wanted to keep, because in my mind, like when I stopped doing it, or when I started doing this again, I'd probably drop down to about 70,000 or something like that. But that's still 70,000. So I was like, holy shit. So I was like, I want to start this.
People would be like, dying for that. Like, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. Because like in my mind, the whole thing was I was like, I know it's going to be inactive for a couple years, and people are going to shit on me for my views not being correct to my subscribers. But once it catches up, you're gonna have no clue. Like, this year I'll hit 100,000 subscribers, and my views will even out and be consistent this year, and they're already starting to now. So by the end of this year, I'll be getting thousands of views a video, and I'll have over 100,000 subs. So it'll just look like it's all video production. You know what I mean? So it'll be back to a consistent channel, and I'll have more subscribers. So I think it was worth it. But you gotta don't expect anything to happen for 18 months. That'll be my main thing to anybody. 18 months, man. Do it for 18 months. Nothing will happen, and then everything will happen overnight.
I mean, that's why in this podcast I've got to stop for a second and tell everybody to subscribe to It's Jack Cole. And the reason why, right? I'll even give you a reason, because you need a reason to subscribe to somebody, right? The reason why you should subscribe to It's Jack Cole is because he is one of the only people on this website who is giving you the information you need to grow a career online. He's one of the only ones in our niche that is focusing on our niche, on video editing, something that you do on YouTube, right? It's another way to earn an income. That's why I think that some of those young, smart kids have stuck with you, because they've realized, okay, I want to make gaming videos, right? So if I'm making my own gaming video, I can then go onto a site like Upwork and find somebody who needs a gaming video and edit their gaming video for a living.
And they'll pay you to edit the game. Whatever your favorite game is, man. Literally, they'll pay you to edit that shit.
There you go. So I feel like that some of those kids have clicked onto that, and that's the reason why they're stuck with you, and because you're giving that value to them. It's going to be helpful through them to keep them doing keep them doing YouTube, because I think with YouTube itself, getting monetized is a hard thing. I think at the moment there's a lot of things up in the air with getting monetized. There is.
It's a very weird area right now, because YouTube are trying to make it, as advertiser friendly, and they're trying to vet all the content to avoid having any more advertisers leave and stuff like that by, their ads being placed on unsavory content and stuff like that. And, it's a risky spot right now, but I think if you just make content that is, So there's two types of ways you could go on YouTube, right? And I think it's much easier to go an informative way. You could go an entertainment way, which is massively hard. Only 0.0001% are going to make it and be that entertaining, and even so, it's a very strong, very tough race to stay relevant. You could be the most popular thing for a year, like Rice Gum, and then you just fall off, and then nobody really cares anymore. So you're in a much harder race by entertaining people than you are by providing value. I think once I've provided value to somebody, I don't have to keep entertaining them. If I entertain them, that's a plus.
It's a bonus.
I provided value. They're already on my side by me just talking information. So it's why you got to do it about a topic you know about. It wouldn't work if I was doing this on some other shit. No one would listen to me because I would sound like I didn't know what I was talking about, which is also, in the beginning, I was scared people might judge me for not knowing everything. And then I pushed back on that, and now I talk all about stuff that I don't know, because that's a way more relatable story. It's not relatable to have some guru master who's 20 years old and he knows everything. That's not real. That's not real. That's the biggest fake I ever seen in my life, but very, very relatable to have a 20-year-old who's just figuring this shit out.
There you go.
That's the story I started conveying.
Inviting the audience along with the journey, you're inviting your subscribers. Exactly. It's like a personal journey. It's like, I say that, I've been saying that recently in my videos. I've been telling my subscribers that, you're along with the journey with me. When we get to this product that's in front of us, we're looking at it together. When, I've started with my video editing tutorials. Instead of teaching people, this is how you do that, I've been challenging myself. So I've been like, the content I've just filmed that I haven't uploaded yet is basically, can I denoise a piece of footage in 30 seconds? Yeah. So I'm challenging myself, and we're going to see together if we can do it. If I don't achieve it, at least then you can see that it's going to take longer than 30 seconds. Yeah, 100%. So it's just a raw and honest video. There you go.
Dude, that right there, in the YouTube world, bro, this is a little tip to anybody who's made it this far in the podcast, or if you're lucky, this coincidentally made it into a clip that's been chopped up. You need you need to be honest.
Yeah, 100% genuine.
I needed to slow that down for you because you need to listen. You need to be honest. You need to be honest. YouTube will make you think that you need to be a polished, ultra version of yourself, and I think that's a big thing that's stopping people from succeeding, and they're creating content that they think they should create. Like someone, you know what I mean? Like me. If you're looking at all these YouTubers, these Roberto Blakes, these Think Medias, these people who are big channels and are doing all this stuff, and you'd be thinking to yourself, shit, man, why would they listen to me? You know what I mean? Like, shit, I gotta put this on. I gotta put a shirt on, everything. Hey, what's up, guys? It's, you know what I mean? Video Professional 109 here. I'm the best at the game. You know what I mean? You start faking it, and it's not real. It's not authentic. And people could tell. Like, most people can't. There's a lot of dumb people in the world. I hate to say it, but there is. Like, a lot of people don't pick up on shit. But the smart people who you really want to win with, they do pick up on it. Yep. They pick up on it. They do.
It's like my lavalier microphone. I could wear a shirt and put it to the car. But I like being natural me. So I literally just put the lavalier in the middle of my t-shirt. And if you watch my videos recently, I've been upgrading some of my equipment for YouTube. I'm using a lavalier microphone, but it's in because I'm getting the better sound quality down below rather than up by my collar because I'm a loud booming voice. I put it down into the middle of my t-shirt and I don't...
Same, I am. I just leave it there, bro. I used to do the color thing, but it was way too loud. Far too loud. Always had to -5 dBs it at the very least. But now, even if I got a white t-shirt on, I got the lapel mic just clipped on there. You can see the shit. It don't matter.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. I don't give a shit. For real. But yeah, bro, authenticity, man. People, your journey, make it as authentic as possible, and you have longevity. Authenticity breeds longevity. Fakeness breeds short-term, minimal result. You might do better. If I said I was a master, I might have done better in the short term. People would have figured me out in the long term, and they would have been like, oh, this dude's a fucking scam. You know what I mean? and then they drop off. He doesn't know everything. Exactly. So I think authenticity, bro, it's overlooked, and I think if you're younger, you probably haven't realized that authenticity is the biggest attractor to people in life. Like, I hate fake people, bro. And
fake people. It's like they're cheating you out of something that you think you're getting. Right? That's what. It's a time waster.
That makes perfect sense to me. That really does. It's because you're investing in a character, but you're actually not. It's not the character.
Yeah, you're getting cheated. So it's like see if I can find one now off the top of my head. Who I unsubscribed to recently. I'm not gonna put anyone on blast because I can't think of anyone. But I know there's been YouTubers that I've unsubscribed to because I've realised they're not who they say they are. Like, you know,
that's the number one thing that gets me gone from a channel, bro. I see anything that's not real, gone from there, man. I'm sorry.
It's irritating. It's like now, as I've said recently, I'm in the back room of my house. I'm building my office over there. I know where my office is going to be. I'm building it. But I'm not trying to, at first, when I first tried YouTube on this channel, I actually had a green screen background right here. Yeah. Right? And the green screen background, I then made it into an infinity white colour. Right? And I realised it was so fake and it was so wrong. I was just like, you know what? Let's just show people how I'm living. Let's show people you know what I mean? Let's show people how I'm living, what's happening with me now. Therefore, they don't feel cheated in thinking that there's some fake, really expensive background behind me, and what I'm saying is an expensive thing. It's more like, no, it's all about the value that I'm giving you, and that is what is costly. That is what is worthwhile. That's how you earn.
It's more relatable.
Yeah, it's more relatable as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Relatable. People aren't masters.
Nah.
They're not masters. They don't have
Mr. Miyagi.
The most expensive setup in the world. They don't have it. So it's way more of a relatable story, as in you're just along for the journey, you're figuring it out. Hey guys, it's looking a little bit, you know what I mean, ghetto in the background, but we're working this out together. And I upgrade, and I'm saying, hey guys, look at what it used to be. I started doing these videos in my room at my mom's house, and I was like, yeah guys, I've been doing this for a couple months. I'm really hoping to get an office soon and stuff. And then I then go on to get an office a few months later after talking about that. Just keeping the audience on the same basis, not trying to project a fake image. That's people, if people don't like to be tricked, right? So if you follow somebody, right, like how you're saying you're unsubscribing, if I follow you for one thing, I like not even one thing. If I follow you for you got to be consistent.
You
got to be you. And if you're faking who you are, you can't always be this
fake person. And it feels unnatural as well, doesn't it?
You're gonna slip up, man.
Yeah, you slip up. It's like, this is why I love Casey Neistat, right?
Yeah.
And I made a video about how to edit like Casey. I done like one little snippet of like how to do his time lapse and add text on top of it. I know you done something similar. You done it was the same sort of text, but you maxed out part of it, so the text was behind your head.
Yep.
So like that's the reason why I love Casey, right? Because even though he's using these editing techniques that it's unrealistic. You don't walk down the road and there's a time lapse in front of your face. Like he's naturally in his natural state. So when he's sitting in his office and he's doing his unboxings and stuff, he's just being him. You can see it's him. And then he'll remind you about different things that they've been through, or he started his YouTube when his daughter was born and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like he did. Like I had my daughter in a video at one point. Because it was surely because she didn't want to leave me alone at that point. Like
yeah, of course.
I had the stairgate and she was behind the stairgate, and she every time I sat in front of this green screen, she's like, "Daddy, now your turn." That's my daughter's name. She's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well have a turn, and I'm gonna make it dope. Baby, come in here.
I seen it. It's so great, bro. I watched that on stream. I remember that was great, bro. Literally, I had me cracking up.
Thank you, man.
I had me cracking up, bro. That was awesome. I love seeing that, man. People getting their kids involved, man. Literally, I love that.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to do it very often because of this whole Momo crap and all that different things that are going on. And also,
There's
I feel
stuff
like
going on the internet. I know you got to shield some kids sometimes.
That's it.
That sort of stuff.
And like, I think earning money from your kids as well. Like, there's a few channels that have like their kids like parading and doing these things and trying to act in front of the camera.
Not the kid, bro. Like, if they're older, give them the option. But I think that's a scary point, man, because the kid is entering into a thing that they didn't choose to enter into.
There you go.
Choose to enter into this status. The kids are gonna talk to them about it at school. Who knows how they feel about it? You know what I mean? Like, it's putting the kid in a situation that I think the parents are selfish in that situation. That's why I agree. I agree with Gary Vee on his sort of approach with how he doesn't want to show his kids. He doesn't want to show anybody until the kids are at an age where they're like, I want to be on the vlog. I want to be on this. I want to be on that. Yeah. And then it's their decision.
It's like Chris that comes on the live streams. He's absolutely perfect example of when it's okay to do that. Like, because he enjoys playing games. He wants to be on YouTube. He's really good at what he's doing. It's gonna be his career 100%. But without a doubt, that is gonna be something that he is gonna be progressing with. Like,
oh, dude, he's gonna do amazing, bro. You see how I big him up, man. I give him the most credit in the world on the stream.
He's absolutely smashing it, which is why I had to give him a shout out as soon as he was mentioning that, because Chris, if you're listening and you're watching this podcast, or his dad is watching this podcast, you're doing a good job, man.
Or Chris, both of you guys.
Absolutely smashing it. Like, I love what he's doing as well. Like, I've even got notifications on his posts, and every time his video comes up, I'm like, I play Fortnite at the moment. I got a win on Apex Legends, by the way. I forgot to tell you that.
I love that shit, bro. I've been smashing Apex.
Actually won.
Come on, man. I've been fucking with Apex so hard. I love it.
Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't get any kills for the whole match. I think I got like 1 kill, and I got revived at the end of the match, and I won it. And I was like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. I just had to mention that. But yeah, I'm gonna go on to the next point.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, the next point is about keywords and something that everybody seems to miss, right? Yeah. And obviously, you've created your own keywords rather than following keywords that bigger YouTubers and everybody is using and trying to find a way through the algorithm. You've kind of created your own algorithm. The reason why I know that is because sometimes when I'm like, I'm looking for your videos. I'm using certain search terms and I'm finding you straight away. Or there's some keywords that you're not using, but I'm searching for you and I can't find you. Yeah. Right, so my question here, and for everybody that's watching, to help everybody that's watching, is what in terms of creating your own search term, how far do you go in terms of length? Because I know you've used It's Jugs here before in the past, and you also use It's Jats Cole. Yep. The reason why I know that is because I use vidIQ as well. And I can see what you're using occasionally. Yeah. So how far would you go in dominating and creating your own key search term?
This right here is why it's Jack Cole and not just Jack Cole. Jack Cole, blessings to the guy, but I'm coming for you. There's a choreographer. There's a choreographer called Jack Cole.
Oh.
An old school choreographer. He worked with he worked with like Elvis Presley. He worked with all these famous people, and his dances are hogging the search results. If this goddamn dancer wasn't Jack Cole, this famous choreographer of dances, and he was hogging the search results, I would probably just be Jack Cole. But the reason it's Jack Cole is because it's important to create a straight to you path, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
If Jack Cole was available, I would just choose that. You're probably lucky with the Anthony Allen. You could probably go straight to you on Anthony Allen.
No, I've got like there's a rapper by the name of Anthony Allen, and there is an American football player.
Okay, so the thing is with that is, as soon as you start getting into real traction, and YouTube decides that your channel is popular, they'll start putting you up at the top. But
Sick.
for the let's say 18 months or something it takes to get to that point where your channel is starting to get established and actually YouTube understand or recommend you, there's no direct way to get you. You know what I mean? So I think that was my main thing.
Anthony Allen edits.
There you go. Yeah.
Edits
So you have to. Exactly. That's why doing a username type of thing is good.
Yeah.
So the It's Jack Cole really serves the purpose because of needing to try get directly to me. But Jack Cole is so I don't even come up third or anything. Like I'm not there.
Crazy,
like if you type in Jack Cole, I'm not even there. Like I'm gone. Which, to be honest, I might have played myself, because if I'd have started with Jack Cole, maybe I'm at the point now where I'm established enough that I might be up there at the top. But I'm committed to the It's Jack Cole now. You know what I mean? Screw it. So creating a custom, not very searched username is very, very, very crucial. But just for people being able to constantly find you instead of just having to get you through the search results or whatever the case may, of the subscription feed or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But also I'm really fucking done with that because I got a second channel called Out the Box. Everybody called Out the Box apparently. Every YouTube channel is called Out the Box apparently, I guess. And it doesn't really come up too easily, but I got confidence. I'll just build that one and get it up there. But also I'm using my main channel as a chief traffic source to send people to that second channel.
Sick.
So I can kind of get away without optimizing the search results. But also creating just targeting different keywords so the make money video editing online. That's a keyword that I targeted heavily in the beginning, is because I noticed that there wasn't that many people. How you say that I'm one of the only creators in this space, doing a lot of content. I kind of noticed that early on. I realized, holy shit, there's actually nobody creating that much content here. And I was like, I'm just going to flood this demographic. I'm going to flood it. So anybody who's interested is only going to find me. There's only me. So I think I own the top result in the world for make money making videos online, or like make money video editing online or something. And I own the top result on Google and YouTube. Like for those, I did a bunch of research for some SEO type of strategies. If you're making videos on a not that popular niche, that's probably the best thing that can ever happen to you, because you can early on own the search results, so that later on when people are searching it, it's only you. You know how you're saying it's only me?
Yeah.
It's because I dominated those search results in the first 6 months so of making content before people really started finding me. Where now if you type in freelance video editing, I'd imagine I'm one of the only people that's there. You know what I mean? And if you type in similar phrases to that, freelance video editing, make money video editing online, Upwork video editing, shit like that, I've created so much content in an undersaturated community and niche that it's not even. It's like I'm the only guy there. It looks like it's Jack Cole video, Jack Cole video, it's Jack Cole video, it's Jack Cole. Some random guy here, then another is Jack Cole. So it compounds and makes some amazing things. So getting a username that's good that could get people straight to you, and also finding a not that popular video type and flooding it. Literally flooding it, and it'll get you a bunch of viewers on the back end. It's over time, really. That's why my channel, I've built it as such a search result based channel that I think I get 95% of my views are from non-subscribed people. So most people are watching through the search results, and then they might later subscribe. But the majority of my upfront views are from people who haven't subscribed to me yet.
What's best to focus on? Like, because obviously a lot of people look at the numbers when it comes to YouTube. You know, a lot of people think it is a numbers game, and
Yeah.
a lot of the time that isn't the case. As we say, like it's the value. So what's best to, well, obviously it goes hand in hand. Once you're
Yep.
delivering value, you're gonna get more views and subscribers. But
Yep.
what's the thing that you should focus on analytically when it comes to your YouTube channel? Is it like, you know, as you've had a lot of time to experiment as well, like I'm guessing as well, because you've had your career before you
Yep.
started freelancing, or shall I say into freelancing.
Yep.
So what would be the best analytical, you know, for the people that are analytical out there, what's the best analytical element to focus on? Would it be the audience retention, or the click-through rate, or is it the view count? Because when it comes to the view count, you think, okay, well, a 3-second view is still a view. And
Don't
if you
care
get
about
a
don't,
million
don't care about the
3-second
view count for real. The view count, you just can't really care about it, especially at first, because it's not gonna look nice to you. It's not gonna look good to you up front unless you get lucky for real. Like, it's not gonna go good for you right away. You're not gonna get thousands of views instantly. So what you've got to do for that is audience retention is the main way that you're promoted, right? So you want to make videos that are not that are easy to make it the whole way through. Okay, so you make it pretty concise. If you can make it if they can make it the whole way through, I think YouTube will start promoting your video once about 60% of the video is being watched, right?
Okay.
So 60% of the people that watch it need to watch like the majority of it. So it's over that 50% kind of audience retention mark. And also the second most important statistic to use in the new Creator Hub is the click-through rate, because that tells you how attractive your thumbnails are. If your thumbnails, like the click-through rate literally means how many times your video appeared on a search result or recommended or whatever and was clicked or not clicked, right? So that's a powerful statistic to have access to, because what you could do is, if your click-through rate is 5, and you got to see view more, because seeing the average click-through rate doesn't really do any info for you. It doesn't really do much for you. But clicking the view more in the new hub thing and seeing the individual click-through rate of all the different videos. And then you could see, all right, so this one video's got a 5 click-through rate, but that one's got a 9 click-through rate. So I technically, and then if you look at the thumbnails for both of them, the title and the thumbnail combination will be better on the one that has, a 9% click-through than the one that had a 5% click-through. So you've just got to change the thumbnails at that point. So at that point, what I'll do is I'll go through it. I was just doing it recently. So if you go to your real-time views, and then have a look at the videos that are bringing in the most views every single day to your channel. Be constantly trying to improve the thumbnail of those videos. Never change the actual data, the title, the tags, all that stuff, because that is hitting for a reason. So if it's in the search results and you change that, you might take it out the search results. So that's bad. So that's very bad. But having a look at what's bringing the most views to you, and then being in a race to optimize those main videos, because you can people who've gone through and just literally a while ago, like I went through every single one of my videos, bro, and I created hundreds of new thumbnails. Hundreds. So I did nothing to those videos instead of making hundreds of better thumbnails for them. And I changed the videos changed the thumbnail of hundreds of videos. And you can create views that without even making any new content. So guaranteed, I have now optimized my channel to bring in more views by improving those thumbnails, by never even creating any new content.
Mad.
So there's views that you're not getting by having a bad thumbnail. And you can actually get more views. And there's been studies done for this. A couple channels where I've been listening to YouTube videos where they took a channel, updated all the thumbnails, and the channel started doing 3 times the views without ever making a new video.
Wow.
So it's taking your views a month and timesing it by 3 by spending a day, 2 days, 3 days making a whole new look for your videos, and actually making those thumbnails better. So that's the most important analytic you can possibly follow, is the click-through rate combined with your real-time views. You know how you can go to real-time? Yep, real-time, seeing the real-time, the videos that are bringing in the most traction to your channel, and then optimizing those fully, and not even just those videos, but every video on your channel if you've got the time, because you can create views without even having to make any new content.
Sick.
And you can amplify it. That's 100% the best analytical shit that you can do.
You know how I know that?
It's worth the time. Yeah?
You know how I know that you know what you're talking about when you're talking about that, like without even applying it first? Is because you know the video that I recently uploaded and you said you like the thumbnail?
Yeah.
That is the highest performing video on my channel at the moment.
There you go. I noticed it right away, bro. The
Literally.
thumbnail was phenomenal on that. I literally, it was so good that I actually commented to you
Yeah,
and
you
said, "Yo, Anthony, this is a great thumbnail, bro." I said, "It's a great thumbnail. Loved it."
Yeah, thank you, man. See, I'm gonna do that. Like when we're done.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to like the older videos, like, and just
Take
literally
it.
just do the same masking technique that I done for that one.
Precisely. That shit looked perfect, bro. That shit
Yeah.
looked perfect. It was flashy, and once you kind of sense a style that works, it's pretty easy. Like I said, you've pinpointed a style that works right there.
Yeah.
For me, I pinpointed a style a while ago that works, where I kind of take a picture, like a first-person picture of me on my laptop, like with my hands in it and stuff, and it just looks like I'm using the laptop and everything, and then I edit on like a video editor to the screen or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just a format of thumbnail that I notice works for me. So it's about finding a format of thumbnail that works, but Jesus, bro, you could have the best video in the world, but you got a poor thumbnail, and people don't care. They don't click, and it's fair enough. It's fair enough. It doesn't look like an attractive video. It doesn't look like something that's gonna do good for you, you know?
It's like I recently when like that's another thing as well. People forget like it looks different on different devices. Like people forget like your thumbnail is gonna look completely different on your mobile than it's a different size square. Like it's different, it's a little square when you're on the mobile, and it's got to appear underneath a video that's like huge on the application, or you're going to be on the website on your phone, and everything's going to be shrunk down to a complete small size.
Yeah, that's why looking at it from afar, I'll scroll way back in my chair, like I'm back here. I'm looking over there. I'm like, oh, does it look good? I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. That's the number one checker, because you get a little bit of leeway with the Windows viewers with the type of content you and me make, because a lot of people do come into it from a computer, but still like 50% of the people at least are coming in from mobile. So you got to have a nice, which is why I stopped doing text. For a while I did text on my stuff, and I stopped doing text at a certain point, and I just did an attractive picture that sums up the title. So the picture just complements the title, where text just gets confusing. People don't really see it, and it just doesn't have the same impact ever.
Yeah. Wicked, man.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm coming to the end, because I might have to go and pick up the little, because I know she's asleep, and I know she ain't gonna sleep tonight if I leave her to sleep too long.
No, I feel you. I don't want to interfere with your daddy duty, Anthony. It was a fucking pleasure having you on.
Yo, Jack, respect, man. I appreciate this, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. This is absolute honor, my man. I love the questions, my man, for real. In a couple months, maybe we could come on, do another one, whatever the case may be. We'll put this out there to the people.
That's another thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody that's watching, right? Support your YouTubers who are helping you, right? I consider Jack not only somebody that's helped me in my career, I consider him a friend, and that is valuable, right? So always look after the people who are looking after you. Jack shows you love, show him love back. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your family to subscribe. He is completely changing the game. I love what Jack Cole's doing. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for Jack. Hit that subscribe button,
and likewise, same to Anthony right now. This is the end of the video, my man. So everything, all your links is going to be down below. But tell the people right now, direct them to your stuff, bro. Tell them where to come find you. Tell them what you do. People right now, Anthony's going to tell you, all the spots to go. Go follow him on everything. Check him out. This guy, I thoroughly support what this guy's been doing. He's been following me for a few months right now. I took notice to him when I started seeing some of the freelance stuff he's doing. This guy is amazing right now. Check him out. Show him his props, everything like that. And I'm amazed and kind of dumbstruck that you've benefited from the content so much. I'm always amazed. When people tell me they benefit from my content, I'm just spewing this shit. So it's always music to my ears, man, for real. And this right here, probably my favorite podcast so far, bro. Thank you for coming on.
I'll give a quick shout out to myself then.
Do that, bro. Do all the stuff. Do everything, bro.
Okay, yo. All right, so you hit me up on Instagram on Anthony Allen Edits, right? Same on Twitter, Anthony Allen Edits. There might be a few underscores, but I'm gonna give Jack those links so you can get directly to it.
All that down below.
All that down below. I'm gonna give you all that. Anthony Allen Edits on YouTube. That's the main place that I activate myself. That's the main place where activate. It's your morphing time. It's morphing time. Black Ranger. But yeah, man. You can find me on YouTube under Anthony Allen Edits. I do product reviews, unboxings of products as well. But not only that, when I'm doing my product review, I always make sure to find you a discount code or somewhere you can get the item that we're talking about and reviewing cheaper. Not only that, I also help you with your video editing. So I focus around Final Cut Pro X most of the time. But if there's something that I can't do with Final Cut Pro X, I will be using other software as well and showing that off there on my channel. Not only that, but I'm also showing you the type of edits that I do for clients on and off Upwork on my channel, so you can see what type of video editing I'm doing for people that are paying me to do their video edits as well. And also, I've also, not long just before this podcast, recorded a shout out video for It's Jack Cole. Hit that sub button.
I was doing a drum roll. Come on, bro. Hell yeah.
Jack, this has been sick, bro.
Pleasure, bro. Seriously, understatement, my man. This was amazing, my man. We've talked for over 2 hours. This is the longest by far podcast I've done.
I told you I had it coming, bro. I told you I had pure content coming your way, bro.
Yeah, you didn't play around. You weren't exaggerating at all, bro.
I made my notes last night and everything like this.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute beast of a podcast right here. Yeah. Anybody who's watched the whole thing, you are, I don't even know. I hope you've been taking notes, all right? I really hope you've been taking notes because there's a lot of value been provided throughout this thing. Probably can't even remember half the stuff. Boom, make money making videos. Episode number 6, that's a wrap. Thank you for coming on again, Anthony. It was a pleasure, my man.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. Here to support all the way, man.
Hell yeah, bro. Take it easy, my man. You have a great day.
And you, bro. Take care, man. Cheers.